Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Debate Hub. Sorry, I gotta turn everybody's audio on. Hey, what's going on? It looks like we're live. I think we're good to go. Yahoo!
Hello.
Hi.
I might be on the microphone.
Hey.
Your microphone sounds a lot better.
Okay.
You're on the right
hey,
one.
Next time I'm on the wrong microphone, tell me before 30 seconds before we go live.
No.
Okay.
No.
That would spoil the
I'm
fun.
gonna purposefully not, because I'm a professional.
All right.
Hi, everybody. I am Chesh. Welcome back to Debate Pub, our once a month. Let's catch up on the news, which is always too much than we can ever catch up on once a month.
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
always,
with me
always too much.
Dapper,
Things always keep
Maanyaa,
happening.
and Landon. Everybody say hi. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. So, let's start with Dapper. Dapper, what have you been up to? And then we'll go to Landon, and then we'll go to Maanyaa. Dapper.
I don't know. I'm shitposting my way through the rise of fascism.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
But
I am, after the glow of releasing the international, obviously, sequence contest winners, and am ready for the next one, which will start in December. And I have my historic lava lamps that are some of the
Nice.
original Silicon Graphics lava round things, and you
Very
can watch
cool.
them erupt if what we're saying isn't entertaining enough.
Maanyaa, what's going on with you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on around me. I'm just distracted today, so if I don't talk much, just forgive me. Yeah.
Maanya's losing it. I did something today that I think you should all be proud of me for. I think I actually finally succeeded in eating 1,000 calories in a day.
Wow.
Crazy, I know. That never happens unless I go to the bar. Bar food doesn't count. There's no calories in bar food.
It's true.
Yeah, alcohol drinks have a lot of calories in them. Can they?
Yes.
But what are you drinking?
Well, I have tea right now, but I also have a ginger ale and rum with one hair in it. Don't worry about that.
Others?
Oh,
I have good.
I have some rum in some pomegranate juice.
Excellent.
Nice.
I have a Vendino Madeleine wine, and if the news gets really newsy, I can switch over to tequila.
Nice.
And I got some plain papadum to munch.
All right, so let's start.
One needs papadum.
Let's start with what's going on in the rest of the world. So
sure.
we're going to start with the rest of the world, because as we know from the way most people talk, there is America and not America. So we're going to talk about not America first. But we are going to have to talk about America. I'm sorry. There's just been a lot that's happened in even just the last week that is just going to eat up a large portion of our time. But alas...
Look, I expected if this were 90 years ago, you'd be spending a lot of time talking about what's up in Germany, so I get it.
Yeah, fair. So this one is a little bit tertiarily related to the United States, but Rwanda says 7 deportees arrived from the United States in August under their agreement with Washington. What do we think about countries that are taking the people getting deported from the United States? From ICE?
I don't know how constitutional it is for the United States to do that, but
Well,
yeah.
no, we know that the United States is 7 ways to Sunday boned, but the countries that are willingly taking the deportees, or do you think they're doing the right thing, the wrong thing? Should they be participating in it? I mean, I guess it matters what they do exactly with the deportees.
I mean, in my opinion, these countries are frequently using it as opportunities for economic ripoff of the people. Just ask the whole the folks what happened in Parliament when the Tories were trying to do their stupid Rwanda scheme, right? Rwandans have figured out if you're dumb enough to do an agreement with them, they'll rip off your money. And the people who go there can just lump it, right? In fact, there's no guarantee that Rwanda will keep them.
Yeah, no. So what has happened is that Rwanda has agreed to accept around 250 deportees from the U.S. under an agreement announced early in August 2025. And the problem I have with this is that it looks like it's a very secret agreement. Nobody knows when it happened, why it happened, and who gave the U.S. government the authority to get into such agreement, right? And also, if people land in Rwanda, they are going to be open for exploitation, in my opinion, right?
I mean, I don't know the conditions
yes.
in Rwanda very well, but I guess it doesn't
They're
really
not
matter.
So
great.
I mean, in any country, if you just get
not
dumped there with like next to nothing, you're kind of set up for failure,
So
right?
yeah. Also, the thing I think so. What in the agreement is that the deportees are given an option. They can either settle down in in that country or in Rwanda, or they can move on to their home countries wherever they came from.
Well, this article
Problem I
specifies
have
that
is
the other countries are Uganda, Eswatini, I don't know, and South Sudan.
Eswatini, yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm improving.
So I mean,
Got
they haven't made an agreement with North Korea, but I imagine that's on the way as well. I mean,
Now we know of.
if the U.S. is so dumb to not learn from the stupid Tory mistake with Sunak, that piece of crap, and his stupid things of sending things to Rwanda for political purposes, Rwanda essentially ripped off England to a fairly well. And that some of the people that they managed to get there, they paid to go there. They took the money and took off to other places. So I probably think this is Agent Orange heard about it and said, let's do it the same way. But the notion that if you don't want to outright defy the courts, you ICE capture people, move them to a different location where you can't figure out where they are, and then shove them into another country where it's harder for the U.S. justice system to work, if it does.
This article specifies that they have been accommodated by an international organization, with visits by international organizations for migration, as well as representatives from Rwandan social services.
I don't know how effective they are.
3 of the individuals have expressed a desire to return to their home countries, while 4 wish to stay and build lives in Rwanda.
Now the question is the 4 who have wished to stay in Rwanda, how they got convinced, number 1, that they want to stay in Rwanda and build their lives there, and what are the conditions back home from where they come from? Are they victims of persecution? What?
In addition to accommodations, those approved for settlement in Rwanda will receive workforce training and healthcare.
Allegedly,
that might be an improvement.
Having been to Sudan, I would say that being sent to South Sudan is pretty much akin to a death sentence, given what's happening in Sudan. That's just plain cruelty. And again, I imagine once Agent Orange has another conversation with his pal Kim Jong-un, they might figure out a way to shove people to North Korea for all these exploitative deleted people who are doing this policy.
Yeah, it's bad mojo, I think, regardless, but I just thought it was interesting to maybe discuss, instead of just what the United States was doing, but what other countries were doing in response. I feel like any country that's going to make a deal specifically with Washington and only Washington right now is probably not looking out for the best.
Yeah. Now, when I was in Rwanda, I was fine, right? But the notion of getting somebody who is not Rwandan being shoved to Rwanda for the purpose of getting them even further out of reach of the U.S. Court system is anathema. And again, Rwanda is not South Sudan. South Sudan, going there is your life expectancy is going to be shortened significantly.
Haven't we covered there are a lot of issues going on around the border with South Sudan and stuff in the past?
Yeah.
We have covered that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are many issues that going on there, and then the individual who has no idea about the system of that country, who's used to the American system, which is a little more convenient, right?
Well,
and a little more easier.
Americans have a really bad habit of expecting everywhere else to be like America, and getting very unfortunate wake-up calls sometimes when places are very much not like that. It's not only America, it just seems to very much disproportionately affect U.S. citizens. There was like a Canadian couple that went to Russia who were like, yeah, let's go to Russia, Putin's great, and they got detained. I don't think anybody's heard or seen them since.
Yeah.
And that's why you listen to experts, you fucking, JFK or whatever, RJFK Jr., whatever the fuck his name is.
Experts like Tucker Carlson, who went...
Oh, yeah.
What a dude.
He went
there and he went shopping at a French grocery store and then was like, look how great Russia is.
Yeah. Well, he's part of the Gentleman Putin organization.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically a Russian communist shill.
But
But
that's
again,
why I keep saying
you can go to
that's why I keep
Rwanda
saying
as a
sorry.
tourist, and
Yeah.
you'll be relatively fine.
Oh, sure,
But the
yeah.
problem is
They'll
taking
treat you
people
better
then,
out of the
yes.
justice system
Yeah.
and shoving them into a country. Rwanda seems one of those countries saying, "Well, if you're dumb enough to send it to us, we'll take advantage of you."
Yeah, you're
Now,
gonna
what
get
I hope is
people
that the
orders for
people
free.
there get some care, or at least are able to travel elsewhere.
So this is just like human trafficking, right? We're all on the same page.
Yeah.
This is basically
Basically,
human
yeah.
legal human trafficking, maybe. Maybe kind of legal.
Here's the thing about legal.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is what it is. And the Holocaust was legal. It was still murder. I don't give a fuck what the law says.
I am
Was it murder or trafficking or what?
Yeah, I am enjoying that a lot of this is already decidedly illegal, and they're just doing it anyway, so they don't even have that argument. Alright, next up. Ukraine. So, I don't remember, because we missed a session because I didn't sleep. So, I don't remember if we talked about this, but did we talk about the crazy Ukraine drone strike that they pulled off, where they got drones like super deep and they managed to like Ukraine managed to kill nobody but do like a shitload of damage to like
Yes.
planes and stuff? Did we talk about that? I don't remember if we talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Was I like, this has Canada written all over it?
And there was this conspiracy theory also that the airport or the air hangar where the damage happened was actually a setup and a decoy set up by Russia. There was that conspiracy theory.
Oh
also
yeah, that was
around, and I was
definitely
just
not the
laughing
case.
my ass
Yeah, there's
off
been a
on that.
handful of attacks since then that are like deep into Russian territory. They were also given permission by Germany, which I do know we talked about. Germany and the United States, and I think one other country gave them permission to do like deep bombardment, like that they weren't allowed to do before, and so that started happening. And
Yeah.
I do know that Zelensky was recently at the White House again, embarrassing Donald Trump again. The surprise of nobody.
No.
So what probably happened in this was, I think, so I'm looking at the article.
Yeah, former Ukrainian parliament speaker was murdered in
How former? Like the recent one, or back in
He
the
served
days
as
when?
chairman speaker. He served as a chairman speaker of Ukraine's parliament from April 2016 to August 2019, and was secretary of the National Security and Defense Council during the early phase of the 2014 conflict with Russia. A leading figure in the Euromaidan protests 2013 to 14, advocating closer ties with Europe. And the assassin was disguised as a food delivery driver with a yellow Globo-style bag, approached him from behind and fired 7 to 8 shots before escaping, reportedly on an electric bicycle. I'm searching as we go. I'm making Google searches about this as we go.
If he's nothing if not thorough. It was reported at noon their time. So how much of this is like a hit? How much of this is high end? How much of this is low end? Who is to say? We don't know much about it yet.
So there are no motivations confirmed yet. Yeah, it's unclear why it was done, but it is obviously professional and pre-planned, right? It was
premeditated. Yeah.
Yes, it was premeditated, and it kind of like with external, threats and escalations going on now. This is a escalation internally. So either someone internally is trying to take advantage of the chaos that's happening externally with Ukraine, or it's possible that Russia and the allies, even US, is trying to destabilize Ukraine from inside.
Yeah,
it's always possible that US is involved.
Playing ping pong, right? The United States just keeps being like, we are, we're
I'll give you an
helping, we're not
example.
helping, we're not, we are.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden from Pakistan. He was a terrorist.
Yes.
US at one point, as their policy, was supporting Pakistan and their terrorist cells.
Yeah.
Until they became a problem for US and they had to eliminate, like Osama bin Laden. Sorry. So I'm not going to be surprised if the US is involved in this somehow. If one, like, what's the vice president's name who works besides Trump? What's his name? What the fuck moron's name?
Vance.
Vance?
JD Vance?
Nobody,
Yeah,
nobody in history is
suggested
gonna
that to him and he took
remember
it.
nobody in history is gonna remember what
Right?
JD Vance actually looks like.
Yeah, it's true.
No,
All
but
we're
I'm
going to
saying,
see is the
I'm
baby.
not going to be surprised.
Well, yeah, it'll be
Not
a
going to be
South Park
surprised.
character. That'll be the.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if someone put it to, like, JD Vance. You know what will happen if they are distracted what's happening internally in their country? They will give up and they will sign for peace with Russia. And I bet you JD Vance is a person who will take it. He will take that and he will run with it.
I mean, the United States is like historically got their fingers obviously in a lot of coups and government overthrows.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a
saying that
long-
other
Palestine.
countries I'm not saying that other countries don't. I'm just saying that the United States is very loud about it.
But
Yes,
I
they
think
are
the problem is
loud and
that
proud.
Agent Orange's attention span is so short.
Yes.
Short that to assume that he has some master plan and this is part of the master plan is presuming a lot. Other people might take advantage of his lapse of memory and his senility to do things. Or this could be an internal Ukrainian thing or an external Russian thing. We don't know.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, Ukraine is incredibly destabilized right now for obvious reasons, and it's reasonable for them to be destabilized. So, for all we know, this is just a scenario of, like, unsatisfied civilians. a la Luigi.
Yeah.
But you did bring up Palestine and the United States. So, United States blocks Palestinian leader from attending the UN meeting in New York.
So they're not supposed to do that. Palestine
is the whole motto of this
an observer entity in the UN. If you go to the UN, you'll see that there is a Palestinian desk of there are various observers, right?
Yeah.
Like also UNESCO is observer thing. So they're a observer thing, and under treaties, people can come and go on UN business without the US totally being able to interfere with that thing, allegedly. But again, if you're dealing with an administration that doesn't care.
I think Dapper had the best response to this when I told him that we had this article, and he said the UN needs to move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they need to start moving.
Like most
Honestly,
of us and most of our audience. Get out of the United States.
It's actually more extreme, I think, than that the U.S. needs to move.
Yeah,
What actually needs to happen is that the UN needs to be replaced with an organization that does not have anything like a permanent Security Council seat system.
Yeah.
Because what we have seen with basically every member of the Security Council, except maybe France, is that those are the countries that just get away with horrific human rights abuses, which they shouldn't be doing.
I think Canada might be in there too. Except
Oh yes, when Canada's sometimes not a permanent member, but when it's been there, it's done its own thing.
On that note, apparently the reason why Trump imposed like tariffs on India was because India blocked his like candidateship for Nobel Peace Prize. That's
they said
poor guy. So sad.
They said he had nothing to do with the agreement between Pakistan and India on the latest.
He had
stuff,
nothing.
right?
Yeah.
Now
Why
I'll
would they
say
something so bold and so true.
So I would say that one of the things that in particular is that some of Trump's motivations have been this: I want to, like Obama, be given this thing called Nobel Peace Prize. Now, understand, Nobel Peace Prize is this side thing of this travesty done in Norway. It's not the Nobel Committee thing that gave them ability to give this peace prize. It's a ridiculous peace prize. Even when President Obama was given a peace prize, is for what? He had been president for several weeks, and they gave it to him. Why? Because
there was like a lot of controversy.
It is a joke prize.
He had PC vibes, Landon. Though he had like very peaceful vibes.
I mean,
but Agent Orange thinks he's going to get one, and that's
just by
the only
default.
reason why he cares if a rat's ass eater about what's happening in Ukraine, because he thinks it's going to give him a peace prize thing.
He wants one.
Oh, that's what his motivations were.
Yeah, he wants one because Obama had one. That's it. It's not that complicated.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
He had that toy. I want that toy too, Mama.
And he wants to get into heaven. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
He thinks that a peace prize will help bargain with St. Peter.
Newsflash, Trump. There's a cell specially designed for fucking morons like you in hell. Let me tell you.
You know
And
he's gonna
hell has
be-
to do nothing. They have to do nothing. You will just be the architecture of your own fucking cell in hell.
You know that
welcome.
he's like gonna be hanging out with like Hitler and Stalin.
No.
and,
Even
like,
Hitler will
that
be like,
other
stay away
guy.
from me. If I hang out with you, the Satan is going to give me extra attention. If you're around me, just stay the fuck away from me. That's what
you know what? I
Hitler is
do
gonna
agree
say.
that he would be a reject, but I think they'd all kind of torment each other.
Yeah.
Palestine got blocked for going to the UN General Assembly session, which is in New York next month. So this is as of August.
Oh,
so
how
that'll be
convenient, isn't
September.
it?
Yeah. And he and 80 other Palestinian officials had their visas revoked by the U.S.
Wow.
State Department. U.S. Secretary of State, little baby little Marco, blamed them for undermining peace efforts and for seeking, quote, the unilateral recognition of a conjectural Palestine state. How dare they?
I support the recognition of the Palestinian state.
Yeah.
Because I believe that will make it also more easier for countries to try to get some sanity in this area of the world, which unfortunately ties a lot of our attention. I mean, it would be nice if that we didn't have to pay attention to that piece of the world and let them solve their problem, but that's not possible. So recognition of the Palestinian state is there. Now, by the way, recognition of the Palestinian state does not mean you're recognizing Hamas, right? Because what happened, the travesties in Gaza, was that the Hamas people murdered the Palestinian representatives and then hold a sham thing under gun to declare themselves the winner.
No, you're talking
so even
about
the PLO are not managing Gaza, but the radicals in Israel, I'm talking about the religious Zionist radicals, the really extreme people radicals that give Netanyahu his margin of government, are pushing this really extreme set. And unfortunately, what's happening is that Israel has lost a lot of its sympathy to the capital, right? There are countries that would have given them some deference are now saying
question is,
the other extreme.
My question is, like, should US have this power as a UN host, to deny access to leaders from other countries?
No.
And even to those it disagrees with.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, again, right, it's the UN again. How is UN going to, follow through if someone breaks these rules? Is there any way for UN to, to say, okay, that's wrong, you're not doing it? And it's very interesting that it's coming back off, just around when it's around the corner that Saudi Arabia and France are planning to try and find a two-state solution, right?
Yeah.
Israel and Palestine.
I think France has been leading the international efforts to recognize the state of Palestine.
And I think, by the way, UN has the ability to issue passports, right? So what I would do to hack around that is to have them issue diplomatic passports and see if the US is so bold enough to interfere. Because at that point, I would say the UN would say, well, fine, we're moving the UN headquarters, but the question is to where.
And also, like, it's very funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I'll just add. So there's Prime Minister of Israel. Is he Prime Minister or President? I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. He's a fucking
Israel has one of each.
He's a president.
He's a president.
This one in particular
he's
that we're talking
about
was the premise. So, the president had been blocked.
No, I'm talking about Israel, right? So
yes.
So Netanyahu, that's how he pronounced his name, I guess. Hopefully I'm
Netanyahu.
Right? I don't care. Whatever the fuck. So he's saying, oh, if you recognize Palestine, you're giving legitimacy to Hamas, right? That's what his thing is. That's why he's like, that's why he claims he is against the two-state solution. One of the many things, he just keeps flip-flopping, keeps shifting the goalpost every new day. That's his thing, right? So my question is, if U.S. is seemingly it's openly agreeing with Israel, right, by denying passports to Palestinians. My question to U.S. is, would they have done the same with Pakistan for having terrorist cells?
No,
right?
no,
because
it's not.
This is this bigotry and hypocrisy here that's happening, right? So it's like, fuck you, US.
And of course,
so you don't see what's going on, you fucking assholes. There's a reason why India is not helping US in imposing sanctions on Russia, because India knows that US is fucking full of shit.
But Maanyaa, the main thing is that Netanyahu wants to stay out of jail until he passes away, and he recognizes if he's not prime minister, he's going to go to jail where he deserves. And the other thing is that the Israeli government system is horribly flawed. It is nearly impossible for a motion of no confidence to be presented in a Knesset, let alone succeed. So once you have a government, you're locked until the next election. And so Netanyahu, in order to keep out of jail, and I'm not kidding, went in line with the worst of the far religious wackos in Israel, and has to do things that probably he doesn't agree with, other than the fact that his coalition requires him to do unspeakable acts in Gaza. And then they know very well that the PLO, Palestinian Organization, is not Hamas. They know that, but really still don't. So Netanyahu, the government process in Israel needs to change so the opposition has the ability to do votes of no confidence and get a bad government out of power.
Moron.
It is a flawed. Israel has a flawed government that permits the government once in there to be locked in. And then the coalition needs to basically come in and say to these religious wackos, get the hell out, because Israel has essentially, from a PR point of view, burned through all the capital, assembly capital. And the sad thing is that people now are less than caring about what happens in Israel, which is also not appropriate. The two-state solution is in danger because the religious wackos want it to essentially fail. And so Agent Orange knows that he can do these things to gain favor with U.S. religious extremists who don't give a damn about Judaism or Israel. They just care about their charismatic stuff. And so he does this thing, and the result is what's going on the West Bank and the recent expansion of the West Bank settlements and the further carving of the West Bank is a travesty, is a crime against humanity. And what's happening in Gaza is even worse. And the sad thing is right now, the two-state solution is in danger. I don't know, even if you said there is a two-state solution, there's no way that two-state solution can actually be implemented, given the religious wackos in Israel.
I don't mean to sound doomer, but
go for it. Go for it.
I would like to point out the parallels of implementing a religious extremist theocratic government and how bad that is, how bad it has been in the majority of the Middle East where it has existed, and how bad it would be for America, which is 100% the direction America is just on the fucking train, just rolling down that line. I don't mean to sound doomer, but it's a doom train. It's the same direction. It's the same. We've got the corruption of the Supreme Court. We've got religious extremists doing extreme religious nonsense as justification for removing human rights from people who have had human rights for long periods of time with no actual social, negative social impact. That justifies any removal of said rights. So,
And the thing is also that a new government is not going to help. Okay, for example, if Democrats win the next election, let's just say they win, right?
A new group in the same government isn't going to help. A revamp of the current system.
They are still going to support the Israeli policy. They have been doing that. Joe Biden has been doing that.
I would argue that supporting Israel as a Democrat in the last election played a heavy hand in them losing that election to Trump.
It definitely did.
But if you are a member of Congress in the Democratic Party that holds a town hall, you can count on people showing up, yelling about the Middle East solution and disrupting your town hall. That's a thing that's happening now.
The town halls in the United States right now are a shit show anyway.
It is a problem this is a problem of religion, right? as gentlemen said, imagine a world with no religion, right? Religion is a problem. Religion, I'm not saying don't be religious, but please give it a consideration.
So there's a quick solution for the Democrats' problem with getting yelled at about the Israel situation. It's to stop fucking supporting genocide. It's not that complicated. There's a genocide going on. Maybe you don't send weapons to the people doing the genocide. Quick, easy solution for the Democrats. Yep. You don't even have to pay me as a consultant, guys.
I was at a town hall where the member of Congress was saying, I don't support genocide, I don't support what's happening, and people were still yelling anyway, right?
That's why I think there was something that Carney said.
So again, stop supporting genocide and stop supporting religion.
There was something that Carney said during his campaign that I think that other countries should take a note of, like political people. I don't mean like voters, I mean like people who are in political positions and don't know how to navigate this. It's not hard, but people are stupid. So what he did was he reframed the situation in Gaza as a humanitarian crisis and then likened Israel to the United States and Russia, and he likened Palestine to Canada and Ukraine. And like that massively, and people really underestimated how much that actually did, because some people were like, oh, he wasn't hard enough about this. And I was just like, didn't you see what he said? Do you understand what that means from a political standpoint? As soon as he said that, I'm like, if this guy wins, we're gonna see like aid and peacekeeping Canadian forces in this area. And what happened a couple of months after he was elected? We're airdropping aid in Gaza. And I'm like, at least there's movement. It's late.
Yeah, there's a number of Canadian drones coming from ships offshore. They're coming in and dropping stuff that Israel's trying to implement electronic warfare to stop.
Yep. In other also UN news, U.S. withdraws from key UN human rights reports, draws criticism from rights activists.
Of course.
Because of course. Stop. Cease. Get off the train. Get off the doom train. So yeah, the U.S. says it won't participate in key UN human rights review. Rights advocacy says U.S. withdrawal weakens global rights efforts, and the UN Rights Office calls the decision regrettable.
Yeah, that's all they have to say, really?
That's the word for it.
Yeah, well,
what else can you say?
Periodic Review, or the UPR, expects
that's like
all
thoughts
100
and prayers.
All 100. We're not mad. We're just disappointed. All 193 UN member states to submit reports on their human rights records every 4.5 to 5 years. The reports are reviewed by other member states, which provide non-binding recommendations. I mean, that's kind of a cool idea. Like, that seems like a good idea to do. It's like, do your test and then pass it to the person you're right. U.S. State Department told Reuters the United States will not... I'm going to keep pronouncing it wrong every time on purpose. Will not participate in the UPR mechanism or submit its report in November when it and 13 other countries are due to be reviewed. The funniest thing about this is literally the same argument Trump made during Covfefe when he was like, but if we don't count the number of people who have COVID, the number goes down. If we don't count our human rights, then we're not violating any. This followed an executive order by Donald Trump on February 4th to disengage from the UN Human Rights Council. Quote, engagement in UPR implies endorsement of the Human Rights Council mandate and activities and ignores its persistent failure to condemn the most egregious human rights violators, the official said. Wow. Womp, womp. Dear. So, yeah,
then
there's
talk
that.
Then talk about that. Why are you just withdrawing your support for it? Like, tell Elmo, who are these violators that you're talking about? Can we...
Well...
Or is this just a whim?
This also kind of ignores that, like, how are you measuring what human rights are more or worse than others.
Yeah.
And
Well, I can tell
also,
you,
go on.
the lighter the skin of the person whose human rights are being violated,
Oh yes.
the more likely it is to be a human rights violation.
Of course.
But Dapper. According to some people, I'm just one shade away from being a white woman.
Oh,
And and my pet name has been assigned as Mayor Hussein.
that sure is a pet name.
All right.
Oh dear.
All I'm saying,
Right, Landon. Right.
all I'm saying is like you can. How are you going to know that there is a way to condemn any and how egregious the rights violations are if you don't engage in in submitting the report?
If you don't engage in the process.
This is back to why are you
that's what I'm
deporting
saying.
people when you haven't gone through due process yet?
Because they don't care
that's
about
the
due
thing,
process.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It just seems like it's on a whim. It's not like it's just wishy-washy. They are not presenting any examples where they're saying, oh, what examples are there where this council has failed to condemn egregious human rights failures. Like, can you give us an example? Tell Elmo. And I like your cup heater, Chesh. That's really nice. I also have one of those.
What?
At your right, you have got that heater for the cup, haven't you?
Oh yeah, my cup.
Is that a
heater. I
USB
didn't know what
powered
you
one?
said. I was like, what? I really like your
Cup heater.
I thought you said computer. I was like,
That's what
how
I
can she
thought.
see her
I thought she
computer?
was like talking about the background or something.
I'm Indian
Yeah.
and I'm missing a few teeth. All right, I've got dentures in. Give me a break.
Maanyaa, I can't understand your speak.
Next.
all right. The next
Landon
text.
does not want to be.
Yeah, he's like, I won't be
You don't mind
associated
about
with it.
dentures?
All right, get ready, because now we're about to. As much as we were talking about like nonsense,
How's the coffee's kicked
It's
in,
gonna-
Landon?
it's about-
Get ready. Woo!
is about to get worse because we're getting into why America.
Oh no!
Trump signs an order to criminally charge those who burn the U.S. flag in protest.
So I would encourage people to burn U.S. flags as a result of protesting this illegal thing, right? Now, as I say, if they ever made it a constitutional amendment to ban burning flags, I would rid myself of all the flags, because the symbol they've turned it into is turning into basically a symbol of freedom and oppression, which is sad, right?
That's what happened in India
so-
also at one point. There was this thing around like standing. What used to happen was in Indian like cinema halls, they used to play national anthem at some point before starting the movie or something like that. And in India, it's a kind of a courtesy rule that you stand up wherever the national anthem is playing, right? In respect. But some people were like, one, why are you playing it inside a cinema hall, and why are we mandated to be, to stand for the national anthem? I'm here to watch a movie. I'm not here to prove my patriotism to a country, right? And it actually started happening that a lot of people started getting jumped on and beaten up because they didn't stand for the national anthem. And at one point, a wheelchair-bound person was jumped on and beaten up because they didn't stand for the national anthem. So I'm just like, how far are you going to go with this tyranny?
One of my
this
favorite.
is some third world country shit. Let's just say developing country shit.
One of my favorite Canadian isms that is like this is like if there were things that represented my country, this would be one of them. Was during a hockey game after Trump had like done his tariff nonsense and 51st state nonsense, and everybody in the country was like telling him to go fuck himself. Was during a hockey game, the Canadian anthem played. They stood and sang the anthem like everybody does. And then the United States anthem played, and the Canadians booed it, but they didn't boo it at the beginning. They didn't boo it until it got to, like, the freedom part.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that when the U.S. went into a trashing the Constitution thing as a result of the great crime in New York in 2001, I could not stand being in a hockey rink when people around there sang the land of the free, home of the brave, because
Yeah.
it was a cowardice set of stuff. What we did to the Constitution in the name of that crime was extraordinary. So I would just leave the hockey hall and wait until the anthem stuff, because I was not going to participate in that group circle jerk.
Yeah.
Now it's quite fine to be proud and patriotic of your stuff, but to use it as a way to repress freedom is, in the United States, I think is a height of I'm glad that the Supreme Court at least permitted people to protest that way. I would say get over it if that offends you. Let people do what they want to do. I don't burn flags, but if they made it illegal, I would recommend that people consider, out of protest, burning flags, because then the flag becomes truly a symbol of oppression.
So I'm just double checking to see how many executive orders Donald Trump has signed. And in his first term, he signed 220 executive orders during his first term.
Okay.
During
my
his
God.
second term, I'm still looking. Like, I'm still scrolling.
So understand one of the things that Agent Oring does is, when he's losing control of the agenda, when people are talking about Epstein and people talking about
196.
corruption, and are people talking about the economic vandalism his Gentlemen of Putin organization is perpetrating on you guys. When that narrative can't work, he goes and finds something like this flag burning thing, or his or other items, other sort of things. This is a very classic Tory playbook. When the press isn't going away, bring up something that gets people in their populist thing to become angry. Because I understand people are angry about someone burning a flag. I understand that thing.
Yeah.
The problem, of course, is that it's a distraction over what the administration is doing, or their failures, right? And so, as
It's just
the
an attack on
the economy gets worse in the United States, as things continue to fall apart, expect Agent Oring to find things like this, and push it, because that's all they got. They're trying to appeal to people's emotions. It's populism.
Red Eye is asking, can one wipe their ass with the flag legally still? If it's printed on toilet paper, which it definitively is.
Yes, the Supreme Court has ruled that that's a matter of protected speech.
Yeah, 1989.
Texas versus Johnson, 1990.
Right now, this is saying Texas. Donald Trump signed an executive order on Monday instructing federal prosecutors to pursue criminal charges against individuals who burn American flags during protests. The order tells the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to look at cases where people burn flags and see if they can be charged with other crimes like disturbing the peace or breaking environmental laws. It is an attempt by the Trump to go around the Supreme Court decision of 1989, where a court ruled 5-4 in Texas versus Johnson that destroying the flag is protected political expression under the First Amendment.
There's another one.
Yeah.
In 1990.
I think it is. So I don't burn flags, but I understand why people do, and
I don't burn flags, and I don't
really
care
happening
if
here is
somebody else
not
does.
flag burning. It's Agent Oring realizing he's losing control of the agenda. Because his main thing is he wants the TV reality show to continue, and if he's losing ratings or he's losing his prestige, he finds some social thing like flag burning and pushes it forward. So it's a distraction when
it's using the woke mob and cancel culture to control the public opinion.
So censorship, arresting people without invading homes with a warrant, all this stuff is all part of the playbook to say, if my reality TV show is suffering ratings, I'm going to find something else. And so even though you might have a visceral reaction against flag burning, understand that he's trying to appeal to this populism. Populism is about getting emotion to override thinking. And so he's going to say, don't pay attention to my economic vandalism. Don't pay attention to my corruption. Don't pay attention to my stomping on court rulings. Don't pay attention to my eviscerating the Constitution. Be upset here, right? That's what he's doing.
It's a distraction.
So
well, the thing is,
your thing when he does this stuff, recognizing is a distraction.
The one thing too is that like this is something like a flag is something that's like feels more personal to people. It's an attack on like your specific individual right as opposed to the greater, more nebulous, larger concept of a country and its interaction with other countries, as well as like the rights of a smaller group of people that you might not care about. So getting you riled up over here is going to use up your social battery and your energy in something that is like, listen, does this not matter? No, it matters. It matters to a degree, but is it a priority? And like, I have noticed that there is a really big problem in the United States right now when it comes to like the left or the Democrats or like the not extreme MAGA group, as they are disorganized and not focused on what their priority, what they think their priority should be. They're in conflict.
I would also agree with what John Hopkins just said. Burn the Confederate flag. F the Confederacy, right? I had relatives who participate in Confederacy. They're traitors. They're treasons. It's the most un-American thing that you can do, in my opinion. And so, yeah, definitely take the Confederate flag and burn it. It does not deserve respect.
Speaking of flags,
what if I take an American flag and burn it in Australia?
And to honor those traitors by putting the names on military bases. How stupid can you be?
Yeah. Next up.
That's a good idea, 333. That's a really good idea.
In more
problems. By the way, according to the courts, you can burn the flag that still protected speech. Understand that Agent Orange puts out these presidential statements, the so-called orders.
They'll get over
because it makes them feel good, and he doesn't care whether they're legal or not.
Well, and it's just going to bog down the next administration with overturning them. Minnesota teen says server forced her to prove her gender in restaurant bathroom. The 18-year-old high school student says she unzipped her hoodie to show she had breasts after Buffalo Wild Wings server didn't believe she is a woman. So when people say that this isn't actually a thing and isn't an attack on women, trans rights are an attack. Like, people that are anti-trans are attacking women, not defending women.
Are human rights. And I am just not surprised why establishments don't have unisex bathrooms now. Like, it's 2025.
I like, California said essentially, and I wish other states did it, if you have a bathroom with only one person, there's only one, poop closet, don't put a sign on men and women. It can just be bathroom, right? That's an easy
urinals
solution.
Are dumb anyway. They're dumb, and I don't care.
Well, they're convenient.
No, they're not. They're convenient for you. They take twice as long to clean. They are an excuse for men to piss on the floor.
Hey, I have had a job where I've had to clean the toilets. And I understand what people hovering
When I used to work at McDonald's, they used to tell us to clean the toilets, and the fucking mess it used to be in there when a guy used to come out instead of a girl. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to comment any further.
But I do want to point out that this took place in Minnesota. So when you're talking about places that are left-wing and right-wing and what laws are being passed in which states, this is something that happened in Minnesota, which tends to lean more left than right.
Again, this is this populism movement that's trying to appeal to people's emotions and say, don't pay attention to the fascism that's coming. Pay attention to this populism issue.
Well, this is the fascism. Deciding who's allowed to go in bathrooms and having to do like body cavity checks to see if you have the right genitals to take a piss is pretty fascist.
It is.
You only say that because it's true.
Like that. Oh god, that was a good one, Dapper. Good one.
Thank you.
Well, we're just gonna end on that. And go, Trump mobilizing up to 1,700 National Guard troops in 19 states to widen crime and immigration crackdown.
Immigration crackdown, seriously?
Speaking of fascism, we got boots on the ground.
Listen, tell me I have not seen like clips on Twitter where they're showing that actually the state troops, what they're doing is they're cleaning up trash and garbage along the streets and doing landscaping. Instead of
I have a good friend who's in the National Guard, and he said people are leaving National Guard in droves, and that people are very concerned about their service. That they were there to serve the community because the National Guard do amazing things. Are concerned that they become agents of oppression, right? And there are National Guard troops that essentially refuse to follow illegal orders. Right. And so, the notion of there was, for example, he said his unit was ordered to transfer to a site outside of Chicago, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And they said no. And in fact, the number of the members essentially said, we're not going to do it. And so the head of the National Guard unit had been reported saying, we can't effectively deploy there. So they went to other places to do it. That's Chicago.
I just want to point out
the Chicago invasion looks like it's on its way unless someone can stop it.
Well,
I would just wish that more National Guard units would refuse to follow illegal orders.
Yeah, I want to point out real quick. It says it specifies here that the troops who will largely be activated across Republican-controlled states will serve in support of the administration's immigration and custom enforcement operations, as well as other law enforcement priorities, according to Pentagon officials documented by Fox News. So, take that as you will. But
so now
the deployments... Wait, let me finish. The deployments will take place across the following states: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Wyoming, as per Fox, and Texas is reportedly slated to have the largest deployment. And the reason I'm pointing this out and I'm highlighting this is because the reason why they are starting in places that already agree with them is to normalize it, get people used to the idea with the least amount of resistance, so that way they have an easier time going in the next place.
By the way, my good friend is deployed in National Guard in one of those states.
Oh boy!
And he said their group, they said, we're not going outside of Chicago. We know why we're staying there, and they had to find another group who was willing to do that.
So
they said and he said, I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. I didn't swear an oath to do someone's political agenda. So no. President. And so again, hats off to those National Guard members that serve the community, that protect the Constitution, and tell Agent Orange up there to go F himself.
Fuck off.
Yep. Next up, I don't know if this is a win or a loss, so buckle up, because it says Alabama town's first black mayor, who had been locked out of office, wins election.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a win to me.
So if that's not a roller coaster of a title. The first black mayor of a tiny Alabama town overwhelmingly won election this week, 4 years after white residents locked him out of the town hall and refused to let him serve. Incumbent Mayor Patrick Braxton was elected as the mayor of New Bern, winning 66 votes to his opponent's 26. According to the result posted by the town, his victory puts a punctuation mark in the dispute over control of the town government that drew national attention. Quote, the people came out and spoke and voted. Now there ain't no doubt what they want for this town, Braxton said in a telephone interview Wednesday night. The election Tuesday was the town's first since at least the 1960s, held under a federal settlement. Black residents had sued, challenging what they called the town's hand-me-down governance and refusal to let Braxton serve after he ran unopposed for mayor in 2020.
So understand what was happening in this town was that the current council and mayor would appoint their successors.
Yes.
And not have elections.
It's like a little tiny microcosm of what we talk about when we're talking about Hamas taking over Palestine or Trump and the United States. Like these hand-me-down, it's an or North Korea, sorry, would be better. Where it's just like absolute nonsense.
This kind of reminds me, I'll tell you, in India. I always bring up India because, I am familiar with India. You might be surprised, right?
Wow, it's almost like we have eclectic people here that have different opinions.
You're Australian.
And perspectives.
Allegedly.
No,
I Australian? I thought I was.
No, you're a New Zealander.
She's a Kiwi currently landed in Australia.
Yeah.
She's an Indian Kiwi.
Yes. So in India, we have local village systems that are called panchayats. Panchayats usually means 5 heads, right? So usually what happens is people in a village come together, they elect 5 members to make basic decisions. And they interact with the municipal corporations and the local other councils and district councils, in regards to things like water management, property management, and yada, yada, yada. So what has started happening was, and that's my biggest criticism of such a system, it was actually proposed by Mahatma Gandhi because he believed that the power should be with the people to make decisions for themselves, especially people who are away from modern amenities, right? From the cities, because they're more isolated and stuff. But what started happening was, and still happens, is the same thing happens. They will take over the whole system of elections in the panchayat, and they will start electing their successors rather than letting people decide. And then what started happening was, because they were isolated, they took advantage of that isolation so that nobody could interfere if they did that. And that's exactly I think what was happening in this little space in America.
This is potentially at risk in the United States, where the populists will say, we have a national emergency, so we need to basically defer the election until this emergency can be over. That's one of the dangers we're facing, particularly as a gentleman in Putin organization continues to aid and abet the economic vandals and the narcissists in the White House.
Right. Because that is just, in general, realistically, as much as we all know that, Trump is less of, he's a symptom of, a lot of problems and isn't really, he's a puppet, right? He's not all there, he's not cognitive.
He's a symptom,
he doesn't have a great, he's not the issue. Stephen Miller is more of a problem directly than, Donald Trump actually is. So, if you get rid of Dumpy Donald, you're not really doing anything. You're not solving the problem in any real functional sense unless you can get enough of the populace. But if you look at this article, you'll notice that it says the population of the town. The population of the town is 133 people. So that means a total, if he won 66 votes and the other person had 226, out of 133, that is a really big voter turnout percentage.
And understand that population includes kids and people that may not be eligible to vote because they're not citizens, right? So we don't know how many of those 133 are eligible voters.
Right. So, I just think it's really interesting. But I've noticed that something that I find interesting when you do talk about populism and you talk about how, populism is the problem, the populism is the issue that we're really facing, is that the thing that seems to stop populism, or at least fascism from co-opting populism, is people showing up and voting.
Yeah,
which is just
as Prime Minister Starmer said, the best way to combat populism is to make people feel better about their lives, to focus on empowering and improving the plight of people. Because populism, like Governor Florida Man does, goes and says, ignore the economic problems that you're facing, ignore the mental problems you're facing, be mad at these people over here. These people are bad. And they don't even promise to solve the problem of those bad people. They just want people to emotionally connect with them and then stay in power.
Yeah, because the economic problem is those people or that thing, and there's never anything that actually fixes that thing. It's all just control and
so Trump is keyed into populism, but understand that populism is not a right-wing thing. there are left-wing populists as well, right?
Yes.
This is probably the across the world, the wave we're in. And fascists have learned how to take advantage of populism and get to the stage where they lock themselves into power.
Yeah, this is what I mean when I say fascism co-opting populism, because populism it's a tool. It's one of those things where it's less of its own thing and it's more of a tool that gets utilized as something taken by other groups that can be. It's like rhetoric, right? Like rhetoric is PR. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. You can do all sorts of things with it. It's anybody can use it, and some groups will be more effective at using it than others. So, get good, I guess. I don't know. You have something to add?
There's a reason.
Maanyaa?
Yeah, there's a reason why I've also started like
Maanya's chair.
indulging more into like, you know, critical essay writing and stuff, or like morons on Twitter, is one to like get practiced in proper rhetoric. It's like it matters. It matters that when you point out these fallacies and stuff, and now more than ever, it's even more important to do that, because you have to make people realize that they can fall into fallacious and illogical thinking, right? For example, like it's the others. It's not us, it's the others. Not the fact that we are not voting properly. We are not choosing the right people. It's the others that are the problem. So these things, they have to be, you have to get into this now. And I keep telling America, like, you really want to make a difference? Get on the fucking road. It's time. It's way past that time. You should have been on the fucking road like 3 months ago. Like, come on, guys. Especially Democrats. They really, really need to start. They should have started campaigning with their new possible candidates now. Now,
well,
not
I think that might be Gavin Newsom, and the reason I think that might be Gavin Newsom is because Gavin Newsom
Democrats that are pushing, fighting against this spot. But be careful, Democrats. The answer is not to have your own populist outdo the other.
Yeah, you've already lost that game. You've already lost that game. You need to flip the table. Don't sit down at a poker table when the deck's already been loaded against you. You need to flip the table and say, "Well, we're playing 52 pickup now, motherfucker." As somebody who's had to do that before.
That's why I applaud some of those things, but recognize as well that the fundamental danger across the world is populism.
Well, speaking of the Democrats, Trump cancels Kamala Harris's Secret Service detail that was extended by undisclosed Biden order.
Yeah, I would say that the revenge should be that the next administrator or commander-in-chief who gets in power should counsel Trump's Secret Service thing.
I still think
I feel like the Grim Reaper is going to do that for him.
Probably. I think that there's because Trump is very ill. Like, he seems to be very, very ill at this point. But I would like to point out that Biden had the opportunity.
Why doesn't he die?
He was gifted the golden opportunity to do anything he wanted to get rid of Trump, and he didn't take it. He didn't do it. He could have done the funniest thing.
Those are too nice. I say, and someone who knows Vice President Harris, I'm sure she has reached out to get additional protection because she doesn't deserve this thing. This is one of those callous things that Agent Orange does to appeal to his populist base.
Yeah.
Shame on him.
And it's really
if I became president in January 2009, one of the things I would do would be to refuse Pam Bondi's rhetoric nation and instead fire her with cause, terminate her benefits, and say, you violated the Constitution, you grossly did things that are inappropriate for your office, and so no, you're fired with cause, and terminate her that way.
President Donald Trump revoked Kamala Harris's Secret Service protection on Thursday, according to a copy of the letter reviewed by CNN. This is as of August 29th. Former presidents received Secret Service protection for life. Harris, as a former vice president, received 6 months of protection after leaving office, according to federal law. That period ended on July 1st. However, her protection has been extended for an additional year via a directive not made public until now, signed by then President Joe Biden, shortly before leaving office, according to multiple people familiar with the undisclosed arrangement. That is the order Donald Trump canceled in his letter titled Memorandum for the Secretary of Homeland Security dated Thursday. Quote, you are hereby authorized to discontinue any security-related procedures previously authorized by executive memorandum beyond those required by law for the following individuals effective September 1st, 2025. Former Vice President Kamala D. Harris. The letter reads in full. This goes on, but, like, to me, this is just petty. This is just petty, like... And, like, it puts her in danger. It's a dog whistle for sure, but, yes. Like, overall, because, like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I don't think Kamala Harris is doing a whole lot to enable the Democratic Party right now and rally the people against Trump.
But she served honorably as vice president, in my opinion. And as vice president, she deserves the protection.
Yeah, I'm not saying she shouldn't have it. The reason I'm saying it's petty is because I don't think she's posing any real threat to Donald.
So what the world needs is more papadom. So,
there you go.
Nice.
Isn't
it like? Didn't the article say that this came around the time when she was starting a book tour or something?
No, this article is this happened on August 29th, and that happened on Tuesday. So this was from.
No. It
this
says
past
the
Tuesday.
Revocation comes, timing and context, if I might say, in terms
dated
of timing
Thursday.
And context. I think so. Yeah, but it says the revocation comes just as Harris is preparing to launch a 15-day domestic and international book tour to promote her memoir titled 107 Days.
Yeah.
Yeah, scheduled to begin shortly after the security ends.
Mm-hmm. It's a dog whistle.
It's a dog whistle. It's a clear dog whistle, and shame on Trump for being so cheap and so pathetic. Like that, he's like he feels threatened by a fucking woman.
He's not even trying to hide it. He's freaked out by a woman who's not even fighting him.
I wonder how many people Trump sexually abused at Epstein parties.
We're getting to Epstein.
Why didn't someone ask the president that?
Yeah. That's jumping ahead. We're gonna get there.
Because you won't answer.
FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend sues ex-agent for defamation over Israeli spy claim. This administration is wacky. FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins, is suing ex-agent Kyle Serafin for defamation for calling her a former Mossad agent and suggesting her relationship with Patel is a honeypot. If there was anybody I think would fall for a honeypot, it's Kash Patel. Have you seen that guy's face?
Kash Patel.
Yeah. Kyle pushed back on the lawsuit allegations and noted that similar claims about Wilkins have been previously surfaced on social media. Wilkins is seeking $5 million in damage.
Yeah, sure.
That's her.
Oh, God.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but...
No, you don't.
I mean... No, I don't. I really don't. I live for this shit. The number of people who are, like, women who have been Russian agents in the fucking Trump administration, or that are, like, just tertiary related to Trump admin officials, is too damn high.
Yeah, it's why I call them the Gentleman Putin Organization. And any person who is a member of the Gentleman Organization, if you had any honor, you'd resign from that party, because literally the service they're doing to Vladimir Putin is extraordinary. And, and for that party to claim to be the one fighting communism and all this stuff, and no, the Gentleman Putin Organization is disgusting in their anti-American activity.
The thing is that
I've just been watching this, and I'm looking at these headlines, and I'm like, these are not headlines we saw in the last 5 years. Even Trump's first administration didn't have these kind of insane fucking headlines.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
They suffer from... Go ahead, please go ahead.
I'm just saying, with Wilkins, it's like, I'll point out, if you're going to point out misinformation, you're going to point it out everywhere, right? If I'm looking at her profile, like I went to Wikipedia, she's American-born. She's never been to Israel. She's not Jewish. She's no affiliation with any intelligence agencies. So I'm like, come on. But the question is, what is she suing him for? Like, she's a 26-year-old country singer, and she's a country singer, right? So
That
This matters
doesn't
because it can lead to
mean
defamation.
anything. So the thing is,
No,
is with a honeypot,
I'm just saying.
they don't
Yeah.
have to be from Russia. They don't have to be from Israel. They have to have money ties that are coming from somewhere else. So if you want to
Okay,
say,
sure, I'm
oh, she's a
listening.
country singer, okay, who's the backer of her music? Who's producing her? Where is her money coming from? Where has she gone on
Sure.
tour? That's what
Sure.
you need
Yeah.
to look at if you want to see if somebody's
And-
like an agent.
Well, if she can prove
Historically,
it,
we
or,
might
I
learn
don't
some
know.
of these Russian plots who they are. Right? And I know, for example, the Rosenberg family used to try to claim that they were framed, but it was Gorbachev who released the records that
It
show the
was-
Rosenbergs were definitely, absolutely traitors to the United States. Now, I don't believe in the death penalty, but the fact that they were guilty as hell for what they did.
If I'm not wrong,
So these kind of things will be known eventually. But
some of them
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
already known.
it
But
happened in UK also, if I'm not wrong, with the royal family. Queen Elizabeth had someone as her art collector, I think so, and that person was it turned out to be that he was a Russian agent and spy in the later years of his life, and I don't know how they dismissed him and got rid of him, but it came out, and it was like that guy was really close to
So
Queen
like
Elizabeth.
that, like in
And then-
Canada, the wife of the current leader of the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, she is IDF, and like her
Yeah.
uncle got into Canada under like sketchy circumstances through like backdoor channels and
Also,
stuff.
if I may point out, Prince George, who like abdicated throne for his brother, right? He was known to have Nazi ties.
Mhm.
So I guess I can
Yeah.
understand where you're coming
Yeah.
from. Ash.
But speaking of Canada, didn't PP win his riding election and
Yes,
Chicken
yeah,
Run?
Pierre Poilievre won his riding by way less than the original guy won, and by a lesser margin than the original guy won. So there's not,
Yeah.
it's not really a
Interesting.
surprise, kind of what everybody expected. But
I hope he continued to be mercilessly mocked in Parliament
I
as
cannot
the doofus he is.
wait for him to get back into his parliamentary seat so we can watch him not know how to debate out of a wet paper bag as he just gets straight up bullied by Sean Fraser, who came out of
let's go.
retirement to bully him. This is also
Yes.
assuming that he gets to keep his opposition seat, which is also coming up for a vote soon, and the internal infighting, like, uh-oh, mommy and daddy are fighting in the Conservative Party of Canada, is 100% on the fucking... You basically have Poilievre and Danielle Smith and maybe the Saskatchewan guy who's, like, kind of on... Like, he's leaning on their side, but is, like, gonna get pulled the other way, versus everyone else, regardless of political affiliation. So, like, the Conservative guy in BC, Doug Ford... oh, I love him. What's his name? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What's his name?
Yeah,
Starts with an M.
yeah.
The Manitoba guy. Oh, he's wonderful. He's great. Watch him. If you've ever watched him. He was making fun of Trump on, like, a signing. He was just like...
The Australian comedian?
No, the premier of Manitoba.
Premier.
Oh,
But yeah, so yeah, Canada is full of people, and people do people things.
Yeah.
And PP is one of the they have their thing now. Of course, we have our PPs here.
He was like a diet. He was like a diet Trump, and nobody really liked him. So, and there was interference from India to get him fucking his position. So there was that.
Come on, Maanyaa.
Yeah, what the hell? Stop fucking with my shit.
She's Australian.
No, she's a Kiwi.
No, she's white.
Yeah, one color away, one shade
Pick
away
a
from being white.
lane, Maanyaa. Pick a lane.
She's collecting
Wait, who's
citizenship
Elaine?
with their Pokemans. New Trump rule. Back to the depressing news. New Trump rule to ban VA abortions for veterans, even in cases of rape and incest. To the surprise of nobody, noted administrative sex pest Donald Trump is enabling more sex pests.
And there's another example
Yippee.
of Trump doesn't care about the abortion thing. He just sees this as a populist thing to distract when some of his economic vandalism, some of his foreign debacles, and some of his escapades take away from his reality show TV ratings.
Doctors at the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, VA, would be barred from performing abortions even in cases of rape and incest under new rules proposed by the Trump administration.
Proposed.
The draft...
It's a proposal.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The draft regulations, which also forbid providers from counseling female veterans about terminating a pregnancy, have generated nearly 20,000 comments in the Federal Register from conservative activists, abortion rights supporters, and female veterans, many of them survivors of sexual assault. So I'm not going to go into the details of whatever anybody's particular assault looked like. You can check out the link if you want to read more about it. But, this is one of those things.
Another one is using... Understand this administration doesn't care about
it doesn't care about the
abortion
issues.
matters. They care about the populism distractions.
I wouldn't... Here's the thing. I would be hard-pressed to call this a distraction, specifically because this is the fascism doing the fascism. This is stripping rights away. So I wouldn't call it the distraction. I would call it the intention. But not because they actually care. It's just they want more control over people, and women are a salad target.
The thing is that it's so counterintuitive because women are the fastest growing group of veterans, right? And they reside, and a lot of them reside in restrictive states.
Yeah, but if you listen to any of these fucking people talk about the military, they explicitly speak on men. They leave women out.
Yeah, women don't exist. I guess it's about time, like veteran women, they're like, okay, yeah, you want to ignore us? Okay, yeah, then we'll ignore you during the voting time. How about that, you know?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Yeah,
so there's that.
It was already limited, and they just took it off the books entirely. And I'm like, what are you thinking? I think so. It's a strategic way of like pushing out women from military. That's what it is. Yeah,
you instead of banning women from the military, it's a lot easier to make it unbearable to be there.
Yeah. It's a shame on. That's why I keep saying, why the fuck Trump won't die? Die! I curse
Did it happen yet?
With all my ancestors, like if I have collected any karma with my previous lives, whatever, till now, I fucking use that karma to fucking curse Donald Trump. He dropped dead in next 1 month. Fucking drop dead.
If that happens, I better get 1,000
I'm gonna get
subs.
arrested. I'm gonna get arrested.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia was released and then taken back into ICE custody. But the judge blocked the deportation for now. So they got this guy, they deported this fucking guy. They got him back. They let him out.
Did you see
they arrested him again.
In that video where it says, "In God we trust"? How disgusting.
Yeah.
How disgusting they try to play this God thing on there. Well, what they're doing is they're just disgusting. Another
and also, like, going back to, like, Trump trying to use National Guard to, like, act and help ICE custody. That's also, like, what Chesh said. That's another way of, like, normalizing this thing. Yeah, that's part of, you know, what government does, right? It's fair. Like, yeah, like, fair, like random masked men who have no identification on them, no, like, badge numbers on them, coming in and just kidnapping someone and just whisking them away is something... Yep.
I am still baffled that no ICE agents haven't been gunned down in the street. I am shocked. It's not because I'm saying that should happen. I'm just saying it's within the laws of America that could happen, and the fact that it's really built in to American rhetoric that it should happen.
I have observed that if you have your camera out and you ask for their badge numbers, they disappear away quite quickly.
Right.
As soon as you start asking for their identification, because they're supposed to be public servants who should be able to be identified.
Well, there's a lot of people that are also
they disappear quite quickly.
Yeah.
So some people are making use of technical tools to identify ICE agents, even if they put the bandanas in front of their face, and this has caused some consternation in administration. In part because
that's why they're trying to rope in the National Guard.
And they've realized, for example, they've been shown that some ICE agents are actually police officers moonlighting to get extra pay. Yeah. They're doing, Mr. Garrison, who
off duty, kind of thing.
I do want to point out that when Trump dies, we will be throwing a party.
So I have no idea about Mr. Garcia and actual status of the things. but
Shortly
it's become
after...
a symbol of trying to oppose. So, because again, the judge, as they said, you're not going to let this person, you're not going to send this person out of the country without a proper hearing. Because the notion of if somebody is in here who's committed crimes, who's here illegally, they can go under the justice system. They're criminally proven in court, and then the sentence carried out. But to basically say we don't like you the way you look, so we're going to send you to some other country and damn the courts, that's not constitutional. That's not legal.
Or you're a woman and we're just kidnapping you disguised as ICE agents.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they're not here legally, it should be really, really, easy for them to prove that, okay, this person is not here legally through the immigration process that's there, right? Through the immigration courts or whatever, tribunals and stuff, and then get them out of the country. Why do you have to jump ahead and do this?
I keep saying this, and I'll say it again. It's because the United States keeps lighting the house on fire while they're still in it, because the people lighting the fire are already outside of the building and they want you to die in the fire.
Yeah. Now, Gordon Maanyaa asked about ICE agents being pardoned, January 6th insurrectionists, for whom President Trump pardoned. Shame on him. There's a lot more ICE agents than just January 6th insurrectionists and people that were disloyal to the United States. But it is known that some of them have become ICE agents making money. There's others that do swiftly, quietly, other people that are trying to become, go into office, and in fact use their celebrity status to show up at Gentleman Putin organization, GOP organization events as stars. So shame on the Gentleman Putin organization for even honoring these traitors to the United States.
I should point out, something that Canada's also been doing is banning MAGA performers from spaces in just full-on areas. So if they're a performer that has a MAGA message, or there's somebody who's pushing this right-wing fascist nonsense as part of their performance, they're just getting banned because communities are telling their local governments that they don't want them in their space, and they're straight up kicking them out. So it's just get the fuck out, we don't like you, nobody likes you, stay gone. You can do it too. So yeah, shortly after Abrego was released from federal custody Friday, this was posted on August 25th, so the other day, the Trump administration said it intended to deport him to Uganda. One of the remember a little while ago, we looked at Uganda was on the list of places that were taking fucking...
I sure do.
Yeah, he was reunited with his family last week after 160 days apart following his mistaken deportation to El Salvador. Was taken into ICE custody Monday after an immigration check-in, but a judge later ruled that he cannot be deported for now. The check-in with U.S. immigration... Wow, they keep arresting people at U.S. immigration offices at their fucking hearings and when they're doing check-ins legally because they're there through the legal process.
Oh my god.
The check-in with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Baltimore was part of the conditions for his release on Friday from federal custody. So they're arresting you, but we're going to let you go, but you have to come back in so we can arrest you again in 20 minutes. Can you talk about waste, fraud, and abuse in the government any harder? What a waste of money. Anyway, such meetings are usually routine and meant for case updates. Abrego's attorneys expected he would be taken into ICE custody after Trump administration over the weekend announced its intention to deport him to Uganda. Quote, there was no need to take him into ICE detention, ellipses. The only reason they took him into detention was to punish him, end quote, for exercising his constitutional right to speak up and fight proceedings, said Simon Sendoval, one of the attorneys.
And again, I have no idea if this person has, things that they can prove in the court. If they can, then do it on a legal process and go through court proceedings, not treat them as what it is, this populist firebrand thing saying, look what we're doing to these people you don't like. That's what's going on.
Well, yeah, it's kind of going both ways, right? You've got people saying, hey, look at what we're doing to these people you don't like, yay. And then other people being like, look at what they're doing to this martyr. And it turns them into a martyr for the other side of the
I have no idea if he is committed the crimes he's alleged to do or not, but that's what the court process is.
Yeah, none of us can possibly know, and nothing can happen until those court proceedings actually take place.
But it would not surprise me if the administration sends him off to a place like Uganda anyway, in defiance of judges. They would do it just to spite people.
Absolutely. This one's a little bit interesting. It's a little bit less political and more like pop culture, which is weird for us. But arrest made in connection to robbery in Seattle home of rapper Macklemore.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
What's
Seattle
that?
detectives arrested a man in connection with a June robbery of rapper Macklemore's home. So do you know Macklemore's the thrift shop guy? I'm gonna pop some tabs. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a bargain.
Okay.
This is fucking awesome. I wear your dang granddad's clothes. I look incredible. I'm in this big old coat from the thrift shop down the road. That's Macklemore. Anyway, 29-year-old man whose name was not released from Renton, Washington, is expected to face criminal charges related to a home invasion and robbery in the coming days. He was arrested for a separate Seattle robbery after law enforcement served a search warrant at his home on August 21st, police said. Seattle police collaborated with the sheriff's office in King Country, which includes Seattle and
King County.
What did I say?
Country.
King County is the county of
King
Seattle.
Country. Oh, King County, which includes Seattle and the Renton Police Department, who have been investigating other high-profile burglaries targeting celebrities and sports stars. I just thought that was neat.
I mean, it's going to be a pretty good score if you can go after someone like celebrity, big money house. So I get why someone would be doing that.
Capitalism.
It's a bad idea.
I just like the idea of the irony of somebody going to go rob and get a big score off of the guy who wrote a song about thrift shopping and being poor. I just think that's funny. There's something about that tickles my funny bone. I don't know if anybody was hurt. I didn't look that far into the article, but I was like, oh, huh, go figure. Anyway, Epstein. Epstein scandal broadens as trove of letters from famous figures published. New York Times
You don't see the word trove much.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's
It's interesting if you understand the origins of that word. It's a very interesting set of origins. I would suggest you look up the history.
So now everyone has to start calling Landon a linguist, right?
Yes.
That's what's going to start happening. Okay.
Yep.
Oops,
New York Times.
Trademark Canada.
New York Times reports on letters.
Did it again.
By I don't know who that is. Ehud Barak.
Yes.
Woody Allen and others written to Epstein's 63rd birthday. So the long-running scandal surrounding the disgraced late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein broadened on Tuesday after a New York Times published a trove of previously unseen letters to Epstein from numerous powerful figures, as well as unseen photographs from inside his Manhattan mansion. The letters written to Epstein by a number of high-profile individuals reportedly compiled as a birthday gift for Epstein's 63rd birthday in 2016. Their publication comes... I wonder why. Like, 63 isn't like a big birthday year. Like, 60 would be a big birthday year, would do something. So I wonder why they decided to do something in 2016.
We'll never know. Nothing important happened that year.
No. Their publication comes amid intense speculation around Donald Trump's ties to Epstein, who was found dead in New York jail cell in 2019 and had cultivated a celebrity social circle of the rich and powerful. In one of the letters, former Prime Minister of Israel and his wife wrote, quote, "There is no limit to your curiosity." Ew. Anyway, gross.
Yeah, I have no idea where this is coming from, but part of the thing is there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt and stuff going on with regards to Epstein, but it's hard to tell what is and what isn't. However, it's pretty clear, given the photographs, that Donald Trump and Epstein were pals. They
Yes.
and that Trump thought a lot of admired Epstein for perhaps some of the things that Epstein did that people find disgusting, but Trump got away with it and Epstein didn't. And one thing that happens, you'll see in the news, is as people get closer to Trump Epstein connections, Trump will then go out and launch out attacking this particular minority group or this other populist cause to try to distract from the fact that
There have been
he's a
so
disgusting
many
individual
memes about
that
Trump.
religious people support because he's they're dumb enough to believe his religious
There's a
lies.
lot of memes that have been going on since sort of people started talking about Epstein again because the list never got released, and people are like regularly pointing out that everything Trump is doing is not releasing the Epstein list. And so like there's so many memes and jokes and people are just not letting it go. Like it is not going anywhere and it's going to stay around. It's going to haunt him until he dies.
So why didn't some reporter say, Mr. Trump, how many people did you sexually assault at Epstein parties?
So I think...
I
Why
can
don't
tell
we
you right
keep
now.
asking him that kind of question?
Landon, because all the reporters who would have asked him that question have already been barred from the press room.
Yeah.
The only people who are left there are Tim Pool, Fox News, Newsmax, and people like that.
You'll also notice that Trump doesn't actually have like a media presence anymore when it comes to like the news. All of the news is getting stuff from like weird like people just shouting at him in a helicopter field while the helicopter is on, or while Air Force One is taking off. He doesn't do press releases like any other normal president or other major political figure has done. He doesn't show up. And when he does show up to make a statement, he's got to show up with his fucking like buddies standing behind him like he's a fucking mob boss.
And again, if you are a member of the Gentleman Putin organization called the GOP, shame on you. You are part of the aiding and abetting this particular narcissistic sociopath.
Yeah.
Get a backbone and resign from the party, because otherwise you're aiding and abetting this creep.
Yeah. What was that, Maanyaa? You had something?
Show the article again, please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hui, ja. Patience, BR.
I'm looking at that picture and I saw that on the left-hand side, it's Hindi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Arabic on the right too.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's their picture doing on a fucking
What is
my
that
guess
thing,
is
What? I take offense to that. I take offense. Take it down. That's offensive.
So I'm pretty sure what's happening is this is one of those things that says the same thing in a bunch of different languages.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It says a banner of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald
What does
Trump
it say in
hangs in
Hindi?
a park in downtown Los Angeles.
What does the Hindi
everyone.
thing there say?
Everyone. Sabka, that means everyone. So what I think it means is everyone's God is one or something like that, because there's a saying back home, Sabka Malik Ek hai, which means everyone's God is the same. I think so maybe that's what that mural is about. But hold on. You know, because Los Angeles, downtown, what do you say? Downtown.
You go find it.
Yeah.
Detective Maanyaa on the case.
She's gonna GeoGuessr it, guys. Yo, the GeoGuessr people are crazy.
Yeah, they are.
That's insane. You're right there? You got it?
Asking me to prove myself that I'm not a robot.
Alright, well, you figure that one out. CBS
I think
is
that there's a possible chance that Maanyaa is a robot.
There is a...
How many people in the chat? In the chat, type 1 if you think Maanyaa is a robot, 2 if you think she's not.
CBS
1
News...
if Maanyaa is a robot, 2 if you think she's not.
CBS
And 3 if she's a turtle.
Yes, 3 if you like turtles. 1, Maanyaa is a robot. 2, she's not a robot. 3, you like turtles.
Oh,
CBS News investigation of Donald Trump Epstein jail video releases new discrepancies.
The unedited footage has been edited. What a shocking twist.
We have a 4. I assume it was a 3. Well, looks like turtles are leading.
In the weeks after Jeffrey Epstein died at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan in August 2019, then Attorney General William Barr said His personal review of surveillance footage clearly showed that no one entered the area where Epstein was housed, leading to him to agree to the conclusion that the medical examiner that Epstein had died by suicide. Guys, the FBI investigated themselves. They did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's a claim that has been repeated by other top federal officials, including FBI Director Dan Bonito, I don't know, who said on Fox News, Fox and Fred's in May. Bonzino? There's no Z in there.
Bongino.
Oh,
Bongino.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Gino.
There's no video. There's video clear as day. He is the only person in there and the only person coming out. What? He's dead. but
maybe he's a zombie and we just don't know.
Oh shit! But CBS
by the way,
News
apparently the poll is closed and debate pub audience overwhelmingly likes turtles.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Which is appropriate, yeah.
Maanyaa is a turtle.
I really like turtles.
Oh no,
like
my secret's out.
For Maanyaa the turtle.
I'm inferring.
So it's in Gloria Molina Grand Park, located in downtown Los Angeles.
But CBS News analysis of the video the FBI made public earlier this month reveals the recording doesn't provide a clear view of the entrance to Epstein's cell block, one of several contradictions between officials' descriptions of the video and the video itself. CBS News also digitally reconstructed the Special Housing Unit, or SHU, which basically just means they did a shittier job than Dapper would have been able to do in Blender in 20 minutes, where Epstein was held, using diagrams and descriptions from the 2023 report on Epstein's release by the Justice Department Inspector General. CBS News review found the video does little to provide evidence to support claims that were later made by federal officials. Additionally, CBS News has identified multiple inconsistencies between that report and the video that raises serious questions about the accuracy of witness statements and the thoroughness of the government's investigation. Oh, it was thorough. It was thoroughly saying that they investigated themselves and they found no wrongdoing.
No.
To the surprise of fucking nobody.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but, like, this is barely even a conspiracy. It's like, okay, you have to have, like, 3 people involved, and the quo bono on this one is a whole laundry list of people. So...
In other news, that is, to the surprise of fucking nobody, Trump's global tariffs are unlawful.
What?
The court?
What? The court decided they were unlawful, then they were brought through the appeals court, and the appeals court has also decided that they are in fact unlawful.
Don't worry, the Supreme Court will say it's all fine.
Federal appeals court has ruled.
Yeah, and that thing, but the problem, of course, is the current Supreme Court is just, well...
Yeah, it was a 7-4 decision, which is interesting.
Because there's 11, the appeals court has 11 people on it.
Yeah, 7-4 decision. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit rejected Trump's authority to carry out most of his tariffs, agreeing with a lower court that Trump's actions were invalid as contrary to law. Quote, end quote. However, court delayed the impact of its decision through mid-October to allow the Trump administration to appeal to the Supreme Court as the tariffs remain in effect. So,
thanks,
yay! Court. The court is doing nothing. Good job.
Why are courts that are not just rubber stamps for Trump, which is most of them, to be fair, not the Supreme Court, but why are they bothering with deference at this point?
I have a theory, a game theory, and it basically says that your law only matters if you can enforce it. If the people don't believe in your legal system to do its job, then your legal system means fucking nothing. It's
so
worth
they're trying
less.
To pacify.
Yeah, it's worth less than Elon Musk's money. And Elon Musk's money isn't worth anything because it sits there and does nothing and pays for nothing and does nothing, so it's worthless. Dirt does more than Elon Musk's money does.
So you're saying it's kind of a placation, like before things get out of hand and people start questioning the judicial system of America and saying how effective it is. It's like no, we are efficient, and we do make a difference. Here how is we gonna make a difference by giving you something to be distracted with while Trump just keeps on going with his bullshit.
Speaking of Elon Musk and dirt, remember that time that he said that the material removed by the drills of the boring company was going to be turned into bricks to build low-income housing, and then that never fucking happened?
If it makes you feel any better, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada, recently said that we get electricity from the sky.
What?
I mean, I guess if you have wind turbines, that's true.
That's not what he was talking. He was talking about like lightning.
Oh, I mean, I did
Please, my day's
convince some
already going
guys
bad. Don't do this.
who worked
please.
on the the flight deck that the way the nuclear reactors worked on the ship was that we had fuel rods sticking out of the top of the reactor, and electricity sparked between them, and we had a series of little electrical probes that went between the control rods and picked up the sparks of electricity and shoved those into power storage, and then that's how we powered the ship.
That's very funny.
None of that is true, by the way.
That's
the
a
reactor
10 out of 10
literally
meme.
just gets hot, and then it makes water hot, and then that water makes other water hot and boils it, and then that boiled water flows past the turbine, and then the turbine spins.
That's basically a nuclear power plant in
20 seconds or less.
It's literally the same thing as a coal power plant, except instead of burning coal to make hot water, you use fission to make hot water. Past the fission part, the rest of it works exactly the same as any other heat engine.
Where those unstable nuclei push farther apart than strong nuclear force can hold it, and then they repulsion causes the two pieces to go bing. And
get wrecked, nuclei!
As of August 18th, a Texas Democratic representative had remained locked inside of the House chamber after not signing a slip for a DPS escort. Representative Nicole Collier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, of Fort Worth, returned to the Capitol on Monday, but remains in the House chamber because she wouldn't sign a permission slip to be under escort by Texas DPS, the escort for all House Democrats who broke quorum is a guarantee that they will return to the House by 10 a.m. on Wednesday, August 20th. I don't have an update for this. I just thought this was kind of fucking weird.
It's very weird.
What the fuck?
It's probably illegal,
She should call the
but
police
again,
and say, I've been kidnapped and held against my will. Excuse me?
the police
So
are
the
escorting
Texas
her.
Supreme Court has ruled that leaving the state and the chamber to avoid a quorum is something that is a right of the members of the Texas legislature. They've done that repeatedly, actually, and recently. So this notion of leaving to deny quorum is an age-old tactic.
Hey,
so I imagine it's
you
part
know
of
who
this.
was a very prominent Republican who famously leapt out of a window in, I believe it was the Illinois legislature, in order to deny quorum? Abraham motherfucking Lincoln.
Hey! The boy.
Dude jumped out of a window to break quorum. So any Republicans who were like, "This is, you gotta stay and do your job. This is un-American." Fuck off. Abraham Lincoln did
by the
it.
way,
You know how many times Republicans have done that? How many times Republicans
many.
have done that, where they have just
At least
and
once.
they
and
do
this is-
that
this
all
is-
the
this is-
time when they don't agree.
This happens, right? By even though Dapper is not a linguist, he does know something about history.
I did get a bachelor's in it.
We're almost done, America falling apart. CDC erupts in chaos after ousted Chief Susan refuses to resign. Lawyers for Susan say she was targeted for protecting the public by not endorsing unscientific orders.
I mean, her lawyers are right.
I mean, good. The U.S.'s top public health agency was plunged into chaos on Wednesday. This is as of August 28th, so this was this past Wednesday. The U.S.'s top public health agency was plunged into chaos on Wednesday after the Trump administration moved to oust its leader, Susan, sworn in less than a month ago, as her lawyers said she would not resign and she was being targeted for her pro-science stance. The director of the Center for Disease Control Prevention, CDC, was ousted on Wednesday evening, according to a statement from the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS. that offered no explanation for its decision. Quote, Susan is no longer director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Okay. We thank her for her dedicated service to the American people, end quote, HHS said in an unsigned statement posted on social media. Her lawyers pushed back on the statement, saying she had, quote, neither resigned nor received notification from the White House for her termination.
Oh, you mean she didn't get due process? Oh, okay, I got it.
Oh, wow, I'm shocked.
Oh, wow. Yeah, shocked. And look, who's her backup? Who's the acting CDC director?
Well, I'm not sure we have one.
Yeah,
they are planning to bring in Jim O'Neill, HHS Deputy Secretary and RFK Jr.'s deputy.
Oh. I'm kind of surprised it's not Dr. Oz.
Yeah, that would have been actually better. They would have been better, actually.
Susan, who was confirmed by the Senate just last month, appeared to have run afoul of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the U.S. Health Secretary, after she declined to support sweeping changes to U.S. vaccine policies, according to reporting from the Washington Post and the New York Times.
You know what the saddest thing about RFK Jr. is? That worm in his brain wasn't a bullet.
I'm pretty sure the worm in his brain is who's left. But also, CDC dramatically scales back program that tracks food and poisoning infections.
Oh,
great.
Beautiful.
Federal health officials have dramatically scaled back program that has tracked food and poisoning infections in the United States for 3 decades.
I hope you like salmonella.
Yeah, you know what will be the result of that? More hospital visits for the people, more medical bills, and more, predatory insurance companies coming in and billing people in tens and thousands of dollars. You are welcome.
Okay, well, hold on to that prediction for a second while we get through this, because the Foodborne Disease Active Surveillance Network, known as FoodNet, has cut required monitoring for just 2 pathogens that cause infections, according to the U.S. Center for Disease and Control Prevention. That's down from 8 to 2 from 8. Under the change, which began in July, health departments in 10 states that participate in the joint state and federal program will be required to monitor only foodborne infection caused by salmonella and, some toxin producing E. coli bacteria. Hey, didn't Elon Musk turn off E. coli by accident and then turned it back on again?
What?
Huh?
Didn't when Elon Musk was in doing the cut Musk thing that he was doing? What's it called? The big
Doge.
Cuts? Yeah, Doge. That was it. When he was doing Doge, didn't he turn off tracking and funding for E. coli?
I mean,
turn it back on?
Oh.
He did that with so many things. It's hard for me to keep track. So maybe I don't know.
Those are among the top contributors to foodborne illnesses, hospitalizations, and death in the United States, the CDC says. So, previously it covered a bunch of other things that I can't pronounce, and now it's not covering
Campylobacter, Cyclospora, where'd it go? Listeria, Shigella, Vibrio, and Yersinia.
Well, at least Dapper knows how to read.
So RFK Jr. would be another person who I hope the next administration refuses his resignation, terminates him with prejudice, and reconsiders his pension.
Well, we also
Landon, I love how optimistic that is.
That is. I approve. We need a little bit of optimism.
I can only hope.
Maanyaa predicted what would happen if we did this. Around 30 students hospitalized, school evacuated after students report feeling ill. Guys! Cause remains under investigation. This is in Ohio. Around 30 students from Mapleton Middle School were hospitalized on Friday after telling school staff they felt ill. I don't know what to tell you guys. It is what it is, I guess. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes.
So I will give us a break now that we're done covering all of the what the fuck America moments. Do we have any other comments we want to make about all that shit before we move on and take a quick break?
How many more topics do we have to cover?
We have one more umbrella.
I don't know what that
be
means.
specific.
That's
specific.
that's the answer you're getting. How long is it going to take us to go through it? I don't know. Sometimes we talk about something for 30 minutes, and sometimes we talk about it for 20 seconds. I can't answer that
Okay,
question.
let's take a break.
All right.
All right.
We will be back momentarily.
Break time.
And we are back. Hello, everybody. Are you ready? Because it is time.
Yes, I have my little chocolate yummy thingies to eat, and some munchies, and some orange juice.
It is time for our new segment, and I'm gonna play it for you real quick.
Good news, everyone.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that.
It is time for good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. Great news, everyone.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready for the great news, everyone? That's
I doubt it.
You doubt it? You doubt it? You're not ready? You want to be ready?
I don't even know anymore.
Dapper's like, I'm done with this day. He was worried that I was gonna be sick of him, but here we are, and he's sick of me.
No, I'm not sick of you. I'm sick of this timeline.
All right, well, if it makes you feel any better, good news, everyone. Florida may lose $218 million on empty alligator Alcatraz as judge orders shutdown. Yeah!
Yeah, apparently some indigenous people that own the land said you can't do this here.
Oh, hell yeah. Coming through like champ. So by the way, last time I was on my channel and I brought up that I don't understand how this building hasn't been vandalized and, you know, arsoned into extinction yet. And people were like, but there are people in it. Well, yeah, then there were people in it. Not during construction, there weren't people in it. But now there's nobody in it. So I'm just saying that argument is now out the fucking window.
Well, the reason to vandalize and or arson it is to make it non-operational. But that's already been accomplished. So now all you're doing is trekking through the Everglades, probably under police surveillance, in an effort to do a symbolic gesture that won't accomplish anything other than getting you put in prison.
I disagree. I think it accomplishes at least two things. One, they're going to have to spend more money and time building another one that you also proceed to vandalize and destroy. And two,
that's already the case.
It's good news. They don't have
It's already the case that they're going to have to build another one.
Well, that's true.
So Governor Foreman's going to find some Agent Orange sycophant to say, build it on my property. He'll give him some tax break and some other favors, and Agent Orange will rebuild his.
I think symbolic
his basically his prison
matter
someplace
in
else.
Times of resistance. Shutting down the facility for the time being would cost the state $15 million to $20 million immediately, and would cost them another $15 to $20 million to reinstall structures if Florida is allowed to reopen it, according to court filing. So they are royally screwed. The Florida Division of Emergency Management will lose most of the value of the $218 million it had invested in making the airport suitable for detention center, and state officials said it in court.
Suitable should be in scare quotes there.
Yeah, airport suitable. Making the airport suitable for a detention center. Yeah. Florida signed at least
because it was not suitable. It was suitable for a concentration camp. Not an actual.
I'm surprised they don't have a crematorium at this location.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need one. They just throw the bodies to the alligators. That's why they called it that. In fact, Christy Nome was fantasizing about 65 million people being sent there to be eaten by alligators. Fun fact, 65 million is not even close to the number of likely undocumented immigrants in the United States. But you know what it is the number of? The number of Hispanic and Latino people in the United States.
Good.
So she was just openly fantasizing about genocide against Latinos, is what was actually going on there.
Florida signed at least
Mr. Garrison.
$450 million in vendor contracts, AP analysis shows. Built in just a few days, the facility consisted of a chain link cages surrounding large white tents filled with rows of bunk beds. Associated Press analysis publicly available stated that spending data showed that Florida had signed at least $405 million in vendor contracts to build and operate the facility, which officials had initially estimated would cost $450 million a year to run. So, needless to say, get fucked, Auschwitz. Several legal challenges. So, good. Next good news.
Good news, everyone.
Nevada cyber attack shut down Nevada state office and websites, governor office says.
Oh.
So cyber attacks caused Nevada's state offices to close for 2 days this week and rendered some state websites and phone lines unavailable, the governor's office said on Tuesday. Agencies will announce when their counters will reopen for in-person service, according to the technology office of Governor Joe Lombardo, whose website was among those disabled. The state identified the attack on Sunday and said authorities are investigating. Officials were unable to release technical details to protect internal systems during the investigation, the memo said. Hey, how much you want to bet it was just like a Doge kid fucking around? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it was big balls.
I mean, it sucks when there's like, you know, social services that get shut down and things you can't get access to. But you're not getting those things under this administration anyway, so, you know. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Alright, good news. New York doctor who sexually abused patients in hospitals gets 24 years of prison sentence. That's something.
Hey.
We take those when we can get those.
There you go.
So, a doctor who sexually abused sedated patients in New York hospital and raped women who were unconscious at his home has been sentenced for 24 years in prison. You know, that number still seems a little bit low, in my humble opinion, but hey.
How old is he? That might be a life prison. That might be a life sentence, depending on how old he is.
Yes, depending on how old he is. So, admitted to abusing 7 women, including 3 female patients he was treating at New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital. The Queens District Attorney Office said he had pled guilty in June on 4 counts of rape, 3 counts of sexual abuse, and was sentenced on Thursday. Prosecutor also alleged he abused an 8th woman who was a patient at the hospital. He entered Alford plea on that on that charge, meaning that he did not admit guilt, but acknowledged that the prosecutors have enough evidence to convict. Most of the victims have no memory of the abuse and were sedated. One woman woke up in the middle of her assault, blah, 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 blah. He is only 35.
Ugh.
Or he was 30 and Cheng, 35, was arrested in 2022 after a female acquaintance discovered a video of him abusing her in his home while she was passed out.
That's gotta be the weirdest fucking shit. Imagine going to, like, some guy you know's house and then finding that he has a videotape of you where he's raping you while you're unconscious.
That would be really weird. But the fact that they've got 7 and like an 8th count and he's 35 and he's only getting 25 years, so he's gonna get out when he's 60?
Well, at the very least, he'll be on the sex offender registry. So
at the very least, he'll be old enough to run for office. But
Well, I mean, Agent Orange said grab them by their you-know-what. So.
Yeah, and got elected. So, you know. But hey, we take a win.
No, on the bottom of in Chesh at the bottom, it says essentially that
he's barred from practicing
he's barred from, but they're considering, they cooperate. I guess so. The hospital people cooperated, but he's not going to become a doctor anymore. Good.
Yeah, it's the hospital that cooperated with the criminal investigation, so that's nice. They discovered liquid anesthesia in his home. Like, good. Scary. Yay. Anyway, good news, everyone. Thousands of formerly secret files on police misconduct in Florida have been made public through searchable database.
Oh, wow.
The records open a window to nearly 12,000 cases involving allegations of sexual assault and to brutality complaints and incidents involving deadly force.
I want to point out the fact that these were secret is one of the reasons that all cops are bastards.
Yeah, that's a problem. Thousands of previously secret files on alleged police misconduct in California have now been made public through searchable database. The Police Records Access Project database, painstakingly assembled over 7 years by journalists, activists, and data scientists, went public on Monday with documents from more than 400 government agencies across the Golden State. So hey, if you want to thank people, journalists, activists, and scientists, thank you for doing
Hold on, you need the experts?
Wow.
You mean the expert?
Do they have a link to this
yeah, wow.
database someplace?
No.
Hmm.
Maybe? No. I don't know. Here's the article. You figure it out.
Tesh, do you think you will be able to get access to that database and have a look at some of those files? Those cases?
I feel like you're cursing me right now. Like, I feel like you just put
okay,
a
but
bigger
Chesh,
curse
how
on
much-
me than you did
ideas.
on Trump with your ancestors.
How much fun, though, would it be to put up the names and faces and, I don't know, maybe addresses of police officers who've been, doing sexual assault or police brutality?
That doesn't sound
or
like
something
fun
like that.
in the way that you usually mean haha, good time fun, but it does sound spiteful, and I'm into that.
It sounds fun to me,
Right?
because if there's
Yeah.
one
Right?
thing that I think would be a
Spiteful
net
fun.
good for society, is if every police officer's address was public
Do
information.
I look like I'm here to be good to society?
Kinda.
Yes.
Ah, fine. I'll see if I can find the database, and then we'll play around with it and see what we can do. All right.
Don't worry, I think so. I'll find it before you do.
Well, it's your morning, and I'm
You
going
know,
to bed after this, so you have like a whole day ahead of me.
Because I've told you, right? Spite is a good motivator for me. I'm in the spite mode since like what, last year or
You're
something?
telling me this like you've informed me when I've regularly been caught saying that spite is the greatest motivator. Get out of here. Anyway, the records open a window to nearly 12,000 cases involving alleged police misconduct or the use of serious force, ranging from dishonesty through brutality complaints to repeated sexual harassment by officers. The database will allow researchers, journalists, members of the public, and victims of police misconduct to dig into how California cops have handled such cases, while helping defense lawyers identify officers who may have skeletons in their closet. Quote, in 2018, California had some of the most secret records in the country, so people decided to work together, end quote. Project co-founder Lisa Pickoff White really told the San Francisco Chronicle, one of the news outlets providing access to the database.
So I
that's
think
where
that
you
this
can
is
find.
good.
Here we go. The records are searched publicly online via the Chronicle, the Los Angeles Times, the San Francisco Nebraska KQED, the
There we
statewide
go.
nonprofit Call Matters. Cal Matters.
I think it's Cal Matters. But
I got it. Here it is. If anybody wants to look at it, there's the link right there. Play. Have fun.
Brilliant. Beautiful. I think so. This will be good if police departments are like trying to it's a tool to like vet recruits, right? If
Holy
they have like
crap,
if they're from
that's
Yeah,
other
you just saw the
states.
number of pages that was.
Yeah,
Oh
if they're
my
from like
God.
other states or other counties where they have like history of having skeletons or disciplinary actions in their history.
Yeah, or you have
right?
like a police officer that gets moved from like one area to another area.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what I mean. So this will be a very good tool, and because usually those kind of officers, they abuse their power, and when you see a pattern, you can just go back and say, well, how about I go and see if this guy has a history of getting away with this stuff.
If this is giving you a
Send.
404 error, I'm gonna add in.
Use a VPN.
Well, I'm also gonna put in this link again. It will also be in the description to the article, and you just have to click on one of these.
I think so. It will. I can access it. Holy shit! I can access it.
Yeah, I'm in Canada. You're in Australia, and we can.
Australia.
Get it, so.
Yeah, that's cool.
I wonder if some parts of America have it blocked. That's interesting.
So
anyway,
It's possible.
it's interesting that this
Maybe
database
depending on the laws.
talks about misconduct, records that show when officers use force that resulted in injury or death or shooting, even they missed. So it's an interesting database.
Yeah, and you can like click on and off like what you want to search for, so that's kind of cool.
And they start from 2023, if I'm not wrong. Or can we go before those?
11,847 matches found in 0.01 seconds. All right, good news, everyone. James Dobson is dead.
Woo!
Oh.
I'm joking.
Focus on the Family founder and key leader on the Christian right dies at 89.
It is
Good
possible
news,
that
everyone.
there is no single human being in the Anglosphere who is responsible for more youth suicides and childhood trauma than James Dobson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
It's possible
That is a man.
that one of the best things he's done in his life is to remain dead.
Yeah,
And I
so
hope he's successful at that.
for anybody who doesn't know, James Dobson, who founded the conservative Christian ministry Focus on the Family, and was politically influential campaigner against abortion and LGBTQ plus rights, died on Thursday. He was 89. Fuck that guy in particular.
Okay, I meant it.
Bye.
I meant it. Good. I meant it good.
Bye. If anyone complains the pro-Israel crowd actively docks the pro-Palestine protesters, even driving around campuses with billboard trucks with their docks on it. Ugh, gross. Yeah, so there's that.
Yep. So in case anyone is wondering,
Yeah,
in addition to encouraging families to do things like disown their LGBTQ kids, he was also a big proponent of physically abusing your kids until they start behaving the way you want them to.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm.
You
So
mean
this
conversion therapy and stuff?
This was
Why am I not?
last-
Yeah.
Oh,
This
not
was
even
last
conversion
week.
therapy. Your straight kids,
Yeah.
just beat them when they act up.
Hit him with a stick.
Oh, corporal punishment.
Yeah. Good news, everyone. I think I'm not sure about this one, but 4chan launches legal action against OFCOM in the United States.
Ofcom in US. Okay.
About 30% of the things that 4chan does, I'm like, yeah, good job, 4chan. About another
Yeah.
30%, I'm like,
And
what the
Bavaria-
hell? And then the rest 40%, I'm like, oh, fuck off, 4chan.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but lawyers representing controversial online forum 4chan and Kiwi Farms have filed a legal case against UK Online Safety Act enforcer OFCOM. Their legal complaint filed in a Washington, D.C. federal court seeks a legal ban on UK communications regulator enforcing or attempting to enforce the Online Safety Act against them in the United States. So, I don't think this is a good thing, good job 4chan, but I think this might turn the other direction and be like, good job getting 4chan kicked in the balls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This was just one up in the
This
air for
is-
me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is one of that 30% where I'm just like, I have no fucking clue. It's just a thing that's
Question
mark.
happening,
So
and I'm... ow.
This can lead to fines up to, like, I think so what I'm reading from when I look for at for on Wikipedia and stuff, right? So Ofcom has issued a provisional notice of contravention alleging 4chan failed to comply with statutory requests and safety duties under the Online Safety Act, including risk
Sounds about
assessments.
right.
This could lead up to £18 million of fines or 10% of global revenue plus potential content blocking. Good luck, 4chan. Good luck.
Pasta apostate
Good luck.
is right. This is a let them fight moment.
Yeah.
Let them cook.
Yeah.
We'll see where
Let
this
'em cook, yeah.
goes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, good luck. Have fun.
4chan lawyers
Yeah,
want
as
the
Sage
U.S.
Shlomo
court
says,
to rule that
the worst
U.S.
guy you know
business
has
with
made it.
no presence in the U.K. are not subject to British legislation. No presence.
Right?
I mean, to be fair, like,
That's funny.
I would object if something in one of my videos ran afoul of some law in the UK, and then the UK was like, Dapper, you owe us money now. I'd be like, no, I don't.
Yeah. All right.
No, but
Fuck
the
off.
thing is that if 4chan wants its presence in the UK and they have to comply with some law, and they're not complying with that law, and they still want that privilege to be present in UK, then obviously they're gonna get fined. I
Yeah,
think so.
it
That's
turns
fair.
into does
What is-
4chan and Kiwi Farms end up being like banned in
Right,
the
because
UK?
the question is, what do you mean by a presence? Do you mean, like,
Yeah.
you can access the website from the UK? Because
Right.
all they're really doing is having a website
or-
that, unless your
they're-
country is
they're
blocking it, you can access.
Or they're using servers in UK. That's also possible.
I don't think they're doing that.
So
If there's one place
You-
where they're probably not hosting their servers, it's the UK. They're
UK.
probably
You never
hosting
know.
them in, like,
so that's the
Thailand
thing, right? Then
or
why?
Vietnam or something like that.
Yeah.
then why is UK
That-
confident on going after 4chan? There must be something. We need to look a little more.
I mean, I know that
in my opinion,
New Zealand banned and blocked 4chan because of their, alleged thing of having stuff about.
Yeah, I have to use VPN. Like when I was getting impersonated on Kiwi Farms. I think it was Kiwi Farms, right, Chesh?
It was.
I had to use a VPN to access that to see what exactly was going on. So yeah.
I guess that this one was just a big old question mark for me. All right, good news, everyone. Prosecutors failed to obtain indictment against man who threw a sandwich at federal agent.
Yep.
To throw a sandwich? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So this was a guy in I believe it was in D.C. and he threw a sandwich at some federal occupiers. We'll just go with occupiers. I'm not going to pull punches.
I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say if you're throwing a sandwich at the cops, you're probably the good guy in my opinion.
Generally,
what kind of sandwich was thrown? What kind of sandwich?
I believe it was a Subway foot-long sandwich that looked like an Italian BMT from the footage, but I can't say for certain.
Before we move on, Chesh.
What?
Before we move on from the previous article about
4chan, you want to go back to 4chan?
Yeah. So because I said we need to look a little more into that because Dapper has a point. Why does UK think it can tell?
I didn't think you meant right now.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Maanyaa, that's a you go and research it and then report back next month sort of a topic.
Maybe, I don't know.
Too late for that. We're
already done.
So the logic I think so that is that the off-cam that was like Online Safety Act was passed in 2023. It gives power to regulate any online service that is accessible to UK users. This is from UK, right? And the logic is if people in UK can use the platform, that platform has a link to the UK and must comply with UK safety standards, risk assessments, content moderation obligations, data sharing, etc. And this is not unique to the UK. The European Union's GDPR and the new Digital Services Act do the same thing. They apply rules to any company that processes European Union citizens' data or has EU users, no matter where the company is based. The US does something similar with sanctions. If you do business in dollars, even abroad, US rules can apply. So that's what the rationale is. And the UK government is framing it as a duty to protect UK citizens, especially children, from harmful content like terrorism, child abuse material, cyberbullying, etc. They argue if your platform serves UK users, you play by UK rules, or we can fine you or block access. So there is an option that if they're not going to pay the fines, they're going to block the access. Simple as that. So I think so there was more. So I wanted to go and find it, so I found it. What?
As Sham said, I guess you can't indict a sandwich, so you can't indict the sandwich thrower. But is this? Sorry, man.
So
is this like the British equivalent of milkshake? Because I know that throwing milkshakes at certain politicians.
Yeah, this is like following on these kinds of things. So it says it was a sharp rebuke to the prosecutors who were assigned to bring charges against those arrested after Trump's deployment of the National Guard troops and federal agents to Washington. Federal prosecutors on Tuesday were unable to persuade a grand jury to approve a felony indictment against a man who threw a sandwich at a federal agent on the streets of Washington this month, according to two people familiar with the matter. The grand jury's rejection of the felony charge was a remarkable failure by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, and the second time in recent days that a majority of grand jurors refused to vote to indict a person accused of a felony assault on a federal agent. It also amounted to a sharp rebuke by a panel of ordinary citizens against the prosecutors assigned to bring charges against people arrested after Trump's deployment of the National Guard troops and federal agents to crime and patrol the city streets. The rejection...
I like how you forgot the word fight, and you said to crime, which is more accurate than the stated reason, which is to fight crime.
So the thing is about this, and like to me,
sandwich.
No, well, it's one of those things that, like, in other days, at another time, they probably would have been like, yeah, that's assault, don't do that. But because of, like, the time and place we're looking at, they're like, nah, this is fine. I'll allow it.
Yeah. So
And the
there's
thing is that if it were
one big thing
rock
is
or
this guy
something,
isn't out of the woods.
Right.
He could still be charged with a misdemeanor because misdemeanor charges
Yeah.
don't require a grand jury.
Right.
So,
yeah.
in case
Felonies
anyone's
is-
not familiar with how the grand jury system works, if you want, in a lot of jurisdictions that have a history with like British common law, grand juries are the thing that you need to indict someone on a felony, which basically just means any crime for which the penalty can be a year or more in prison. So the thing is though that generally speaking, grand juries almost always vote to indict because the only people who present evidence are the prosecution, and all you need is probable cause that a crime has been committed and that the person being accused seems reasonably likely to have been that. So basically, if you're like, the standard evidence is like, yeah, I could see how that might be a crime. Okay, maybe, yeah, I guess. Then the answer is you're supposed to vote to indict.
Sorry.
So I was gonna say, so that's why the saying for a long time in legal circles is you could get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Of course, in this case, with the actual literal ham sandwich, well, not so much.
I would like to point out that if you are going to throw sandwiches as part of your fight to fascism, not only am I cool with that, but also may I recommend
Approved.
tuna and or potato salad.
Yeah.
Why?
Or egg
some
salad.
foul
That
fish.
could work.
Why?
Foul fish.
Yeah, egg salad's pretty good. The reason potato salad is because potatoes are not expensive, and when they get rotted, they are gross, and you will never get rid of the smell. So just get an old potato salad sandwich.
Or if you
Yeah.
doubt that a particular federal agent is a vampire, use garlic paste.
I know that in the former
okay.
United Kingdom, Nigel Farage surely attracted in the former United Kingdom milkshakes, and people complained that people were wasting milkshakes.
Yeah. Grand jury's rejection
Maybe
of the
he was just
felony
thirsty.
charge was a remarkable failure. Blah 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 blah. The rejection of the grand jury was particularly noteworthy given the attention paid to the case of the man who threw the sandwich, Sean. Good job, Sean. Video of the episode went viral on social media. Senior officials talked about the case, and the administration posted footage of a large group of heavily armed law enforcement officers going to Mr. Dunn's apartment. That's funny!
When it says senior officials, what that specifically means is Janine Pirro, who used to be known as Judge Janine, who then became a talking head on Fox News, and who is now the entirely unqualified district attorney for the District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Who went on in a little press thing that she had filmed and sent out to news agencies, where she did her signature arms crossed move and said, well, now you're being charged with a felony. Except, no, he's not.
It gets even better, too, because this guy, 37, is a former Justice Department paralegal. Who threw the sandwich?
Wow.
So it sounds like they know what the fuck they were doing. They knew what the fuck they were doing. It was like...
Before he threw the sandwich, the complaint asserts that Mr. Dunn stood within inches of the officer, calling him and his colleague fascist and shouting, "I don't want you in my city."
Yeah, that is indeed.
Nice.
If you haven't seen the footage, you should just go look up the footage.
Yeah, I
it's
haven't
really great.
watched it. That's pretty great.
How have you not seen it? It's amazing footage. I love that footage.
You want me to pull it up and we can watch it right now?
I mean, that's up to you, but like everyone should watch it.
Go for it.
All right.
Go for it.
Alright, sandwich felony. Is that gonna pop it up?
I mean, I would just
Man
search
accused
for
of throwing a
sandwich guy.
Subway sandwich. No, that's got like a thing. No indictment for alleged sandwich. JOD accused throwing sandwich agent. No, that's gonna have people.
Just go to YouTube and search sandwich guy. It'll probably
Sandwich
show up.
guy.
Sandwich guy or throwing sandwich?
Sandwich.
Instead, sandwich on federal.
Sandwich guy is free. It's Fosh. Man who hurled sandwich. It's all commentary.
I'll see if I
really?
can't find it.
Oh, now you're gonna go and find it. But before you were like, oh, go back and search for it and come back in the next show. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah, but
Hey,
this is a
I'm not
sandwich.
taking up the show.
Sandwich is more important than whatever 4chan's doing.
Okay.
He's scheduled to appear next week in federal district court in Washington for a preliminary hearing. So, I guess we'll see where that goes. But
Even if
I
there's
don't
a
know. Good
crime
news,
now.
everyone. Sandwich. It's sandwich time.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask if he gets charged. Could ask for a jury trial.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Here's her doing the
Attorney for
arm
D.C., Janine Pirro, reacts to a viral confrontation with law enforcement in Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed. Officials say a man aggressively approached a federal officer, yelling, cursing, and berating him.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's so funny.
It looks like
It's
something.
like a cartoon.
It looks like something out of Saints Row the Third. Like it may as well have been a dildo. Like it.
Right?
It
Looks like
flops
a
around like it
tell us.
too.
I'm sorry, can we normalize
Subway
throwing
sandwich.
dildos at federal occupiers of various cities? Can we
I'm
do
fine
that? Is
with
that a thing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Attorney
with
for
that.
D.C., Janine Pirro, reacts to a viral confrontation with
I'm just
law
watching it
enforcement in
again.
Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed. Officials say a man aggressively approached a federal
Flap.
officer,
Like I could hear that. Like I know exactly what sound that made.
yelling, cursing, and
That's an
berating
expensive
him
sandwich, too.
Yeah,
before
it's
throwing a
expensive.
sandwich and hitting that officer in the chest. And you can see he booked it, ran away from there. The man was arrested at the scene and will be charged
Look how
with
far
assault
he
on a
got.
police officer.
how
Pirro
many
is
people
using
are
this
chasing
video
him?
as a warning to the public about attacking
be-
law enforcement.
They'll try to charge him with
Give
assault.
that
Oh, here
guy,
it is.
give that
This
scene
is-
a
this is the
representation
official.
in some movie. Or the Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
Give that
that's
scene
gonna-
a
that's
representation in
gonna
a
get-
Deadpool movie.
It's gonna get.
I
ripped.
love that scene.
What was that, Dapper?
This is the bit where Pirro does her little arms crossed like, you're getting charged with a felony.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
that bit.
God.
An individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started
Occupiers.
jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at
She's laughing at it. She can't take it
she's a piece-
seriously.
I
Like,
don't
yeah,
get it.
how
she-
do you take that seriously?
You don't.
Is that a news person? I think
She
that's a
was.
news
No,
person.
that's the
She
district attorney
was.
for. Yeah, she was one. Now she's the district attorney.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really,
Why are you
Get
surprised?
she
it.
spent
I
she spent like 2 years as a prosecutor, like 30 years ago. Then she became one of those talk show judges where like
Oh, okay.
they
I
pay
know
you
who she
to
is.
go on and do the courtroom thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, she
Yeah,
became
yeah.
a Fox News talking head for years. And then
Yeah,
because
I
she's
think so I know who she is.
really good at sucking Trump's cock, he was like, "Hey, do you want a job you're entirely unqualified for, but where you will just continue to suck me off the entire time?"
Yes,
And she
sir.
said yes.
No, she said.
So-
Oh.
Well, yeah.
So the thing is that usually district attorneys, they don't come out and claim anything until they have it in the bag.
You're right. They
Stop.
don't. In fact,
Why?
they normally don't comment on ongoing
don't.
cases at all.
And normally
Yeah,
they wouldn't
even
do
if-
something like this.
This
Because
would have
you know
been
what the defense is
appropriate
gonna
if It was done after. It was done
This
after
is
the grand jury
prejudicial.
indicted the guy.
Yeah. So what a defense attorney is going to say is, "Hey, the state, or in this case, the district, was going on the news and talking shit about my client before any conviction was ever secured, thereby tainting the entire jury pool." And you know what? They're going to have a really good point, which is why real prosecutors who know what the fuck they're doing don't do
Yep.
this shit.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep. Shut
Yep.
the fuck up. That's what I'm saying.
Defense
like,
lawyers
that's
are the ones who
really
go on
tells us.
press conferences.
Yep.
Yeah, so she played right into the defense attorney's hands there, because they
If
will
there even
say
is one.
that this guy will not, this guy will not get a fair trial because this has been publicized as something bad. So, like, girl, what the fuck? Stop giving women a bad name.
I hate that she's still being called Judge Janine.
Ew. Yeah, that's gross.
Oh,
him.
Judge, oh yeah,
And
I
then
know,
he
I
took
know,
a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw
Oh,
it
horrid.
at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police
Oh.
officer. And
No,
we're
you
going to
didn't.
back
No, you
the
didn't.
Womp
No, you
womp.
didn't.
You tried.
Yeah, you didn't. You tried. Yeah, you tried. You tried.
police to the
She could have
hilt.
said was. She
Oh,
could
wait,
have said was, oh well, we are going to press this matter further and take it to the end and see that he meets justice. Something like that. Not like, oh, he's getting charged, and like a definitive statement. You're stupid. You're fucking stupid. And I'm not even U.S. citizen. I know better than
Well,
that.
We have to get to the point where she does her smug arm cross thing.
He thought it was
Yep.
funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Phrasing.
Well, okay, you can count on
Oh, there it is!
attorney for D.
That's wonderful.
Oh,
Side note, I
man.
would like to point out.
The editor for this channel knew what he was doing. The editor knew what he was doing.
I would like to point out that I bet you any money that that man was in fact still laughing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would be.
Yeah, so
By
I
the
guess
sound
you
of
can
it, he
stick
knew
that
exactly
sandwich
what he was
someplace else,
doing.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, apparently he can stick that sandwich against the chest of some occupying fascist.
Thwap!
Because let's be clear, what we're saying are not police actions; they're
Right.
hostile occupation actions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
There's a difference.
Authoritarian
John
tyranny,
Hopkins from the live
tyrannical
chat.
fascist.
This is the kind of thing that in the 1770s would get you shot.
Yeah, the to the hilt part is the part that got the phrasing on me. That was like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't say that. I
John
don't like
Hopkins.
it. They think it's a dildo
John
too.
Hopkins. John Hopkins from the live chat said he had such good timing with the traffic crossing, though.
Yeah, man. He had a fair chance of getting just flattened against the street on that one.
He knew. He
Yeah.
timed it. He was ready.
He knows.
That was the last
He
thing we
knows.
had for today, by the way.
He knows.
Well, thank you very much for those good news. I thought it was a...
I figured that after we talked about so much bad garbage going on that's like global political stuff and nonsense that's gonna make everybody sad, I
Fun.
figured it'd be nice to have some like good news. Everyone, man throws a thing at a guy and everybody laughed.
Yeah.
Don't forget when you get home to get your bricks, and I hope everybody has a good weekend. You guys got stuff coming up?
I just want to say, furthermore, ICE must be abolished. And yeah, I got stuff coming up. You know my schedule. I got stuff on Friday. I got stuff on Tuesday. I got stuff on Thursday. I got stuff on Saturday. Come check me out. I'm doing stuff.
Dapper's doing stuff and things
Yeah.
sometimes.
Doing stuff.
And sometimes I'm invited,
Actually,
and it's trouble.
Yeah.
Always chaos.
Often on Fridays and sometimes on Tuesdays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Landon, what are you up to?
I am trying to
Well,
get back
we're-
to
Shut up, Maanyaa!
Friday.
No, let Maanyaa go. Let Maanyaa go. She's got... Let her go.
No. It's your turn, Landon. I spoke out of turn. I know.
Well, you sure?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, first of all, check out the Volcano Show on September 19th, where those two people will join me. Actually, those two people over there. There, yeah, there and there, yeah, somewhere there. They'll join me in talking about what Madame Haley is doing.
Here's the story.
Certainly check out Dapper's channel because you can learn something while laughing at very crazy people. Also check out Red Eye's channel because not only does he post interesting artwork with really interesting sort of geometric designs in his spinny top, but he also sometimes plays games and makes commentary. So check out his channel too.
There's a bunch
And then,
of
of course, the
those
Sea Contest, and also obviously the Sea Contest winners, you can check those out. Our next ICC 29 is scheduled to start in December of this year.
Maanyaa, what are you up to?
Me, I'm trying to get back into the regular schedule of our Dump Fact Friday because I see that people want it back. So yeah, and we'll talk about more dump fucks on that. And also if Low Energy Vids is watching this, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't get back to you. I'll get back to you soon. I'm just all over the place. I've got shit going on at home and I don't know what to do about it. I might not even
She can.
I might have to take time off tomorrow. So yeah.
Hey, Maanyaa, I'll drink to that.
Are you gonna
Yes, I
drink
can.
water?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to
I
me.
just saw the saddest Blue Sky post. I follow
Oh, really?
the account Is Trump Dead Yet? And they posted an image and it says not yet in a crystal ball.
He is really
Aw.
sick. He is not
I'm-
looking good.
That's what I'm saying.
Look,
I'm calling
I
on
told
all
my
my
audience-
ancestors.
I have champagne in the refrigerator right now, ready to go for the moment I hear about it. And also, I have a thumbnail ready for when that happens so that I can celebrate on my channel with everyone as soon as I find out, because I'm going to be drinking that stuff right on the channel, I will polish off that entire bottle of champagne.
I take time off. I have co-chash. I'll take time off for two things. One, when Aaron gets arrested, and two, when Trump dies. So I've added that to my list. So two times. I'll
So Dapper,
I'm off.
if you do that show with that champagne, I also will help, because I actually have a bottle of Trump champagne that's illegally marked as champagne. I'll open and drink on your same show.
It's only illegal if it's being sold in the EU. Is it actually illegal, or is it just like it's not actually from France?
It's not from France.
Okay,
it's a violation of their. And France actually put a basically a fine on their product, which caused Trump to put a tariff on French wines. That was back in his first days. But anyway, yes.
He could be more sick, is all we're saying. There's more stuff here. If you want to help support the channel, like and share and subscribe. And if you think you got people that would be interested in, make sure you check us out. We'll also be back with another show next Saturday, but it is about philosophy, so come and join us for that. I assure you it's just as wacky. Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna get out of here and say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Now I